Coughlin and Eli, those Giants are dead. Those Giants are dead. Like what those Giants did for their fans will never forget that. But the current iteration of the New York Giants is as bad as the New York Jets or the Cleveland Browns or any other doormat, the Tennessee Titans, that you want to lump the dregs of the NFL with. That is where the Giants reside. So when you ask the question, how could they do this again? The simple answer is because they're a bad franchise.
Yeah.
And they've been that for a while.
They've had 2 winning seasons since 2013, okay? Now, Coughlin was still here. Obviously, they won the Super Bowl. Then the year after the Super Bowl, they were 9-7. They've had so forget that 9-7 in 2012. 2013, 7-9, 6-10, 6-10. The one McAdoo season where they went to the playoffs and got embarrassed, and even that team wasn't that good. Much like the first team that Daboll took to the postseason. 1 year, 11-5, 3-13, 5-11, 4-12, 6-10, 4-13. Then the Daboll year, 9-7-1 about the postseason, 6-11, 3-14, 2-8. That's way too much losing and way too much evidence that the decision makers, whoever it is, Mara, Tish, everybody else is having some sort of influence, because I don't think it's just one guy. I don't think it's Mr. Mara.
I agree.
Whoever is having the ultimate decisions does not know what the hell they are doing. That is a fact based on their record. Regardless of anybody's opinion, I just gave you the entire record since 2013. 2 winning seasons. And even in those 2 winning seasons, they proved to be more the outlier than the norm. Unacceptable. And they keep doing the same damn thing. I cannot believe they kept changing.
I mean, again, I'm really surprised, but then as you flush through it, should we be? Because this is who they become. You know, it's funny, too, because we've said this a lot. The 2 teams that were always the bastion, the guiding light of New York sports have been historically the Yankees and the Giants. And think about the level of criticism that the Yankees get every single year. Get rid of Cashman, get rid of Boone. They don't do enough. Yankees lost their way. Yankees aren't the Yankees anymore. And now look at the New York Giants, who are basically telling you, by bringing back Joe Schoen, we accept losing. Because, when there's still things to interpret, as after 1 year or 2 years or even 3 years, there's still an analysis that has to happen. You can't be too reactionary because it leads to volatility. And I know that the Giants have been aware of that, and they've tried to get away from that. But I'm sorry, it's not personal, never is. But by allowing Joe Schoen to spearhead this search, to still have a job when Daboll does not, it's absolutely unacceptable, and it's pathetic.
BT Sal on the Fan, our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Jim is in Warren starting us off. What's up, Jim?
Good morning, guys. Really enjoyed the show.
Thank you.
I just want to start out. I am a veteran. I served 4 years in the United States Marines with 2 overseas tours.
God bless you.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you.
I just want to say Happy Veterans Day to all my
sir.
I wasn't sure if we say Happy Veterans Day.
Yeah.
But if a veteran is saying that, Jim, we're going to take your cue there. Happy Veterans Day.
Thank you, my friend. I'm a Jets fan, but I want to comment about the Giants. They both should have been gone last year at 3-14. By bringing them back and splitting the ticket, it's not going to work. It's not going to work.
I don't think it's going to work either. I think because, and Jim, thank you for the call, and definitely thank you for your service. God bless you, man. I think that this really severely impacts the potential pool of head coaching candidates. Now, all right, maybe Belichick is so desperate to come back to the NFL or leave Carolina or both that he would sign on for anything. Maybe McCarthy really just misses the game. He's like, you know what, I'm not even sure about Shane, but I'll work with him. Maybe those guys lower their standards. Maybe they lower their standards, okay? But if the standards aren't lowered, the talent pool is going to be greatly diluted because it's just not. There's going to be no real symmetry. If you're somebody who's done if your resume is accomplished, like a McCarthy and like a Belichick and like a few others as well, why in the world would you sign up to work with Joe Schoen, who hasn't done a damn thing as a general manager? You wouldn't. At least I wouldn't, because that's not something I'm going to hitch my wagon to. And even if it seems good, like if it's McCarthy, I believe Joe Schoen, the moment the rubber hits the road and things go a little bit awry, you're going to get a split force. You're going to get separation. You're going to get this guy doing this in one side of the building, this guy doing the other, and it's not going to be harmonious. This is a 2-foot, this is a 2-inch tap-in putt where your buddy looks at you and he says, pick it up, it's good. For the Giants to botch this, it's really stunning.
Yeah, I mean, we shouldn't be surprised because this is what they've done. I just can't even believe the levels of ineptitude. I'd still like to see somebody say, what? Now, in the press release, the quote was that we feel like Joe has assembled a good young nucleus of talent. Based on what? A feel? Where is that coming from? I feel like I'm sick and tired of watching this crappy team play every Sunday. All of it. Now, I will say that I do think that they should be better than what their record says. Mm-hmm. But even with that, what should it be? 5-5? 4 years. Joe Schoen, the best players were from Dave Gettleman. So every GM is going to have some good players. Joe Schoen has been a near disaster with the majority of moves that he's made. Not to mention that every time we've seen him, he looks like a man boy. He looks like he's in over his head, overmatched. No, I'm serious. Do you get a feel, like he's an adult, obviously? Yeah. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just saying, do you get the feel from Joe Schoen that he's in control of a football organization?
I mean, I'd have to be around him more.
No,
I
how
can't
about the
judge.
Hard Knock shows?
Well, that's true. That's true. That was an ugly lifting of the curtain.
He's like a young,
not reinforcing the. Yeah, no, from that, sure. I mean, I got to be honest. I think I would be much more okay. And we have talked about for weeks, it's been basically the central theme on the show about when is Daboll going to get fired, going back to the report with Denver. So you guys know where Sal and I stood, and with all due respect, we would have fired him a while ago, and we're okay with the Giants moving on. Having said that, I would be more okay if Daboll and Schoen were back than what transpired now.
Exactly. This was the worst thing they could do. I'd rather them have said, we believe in these guys, regardless of what the fans and media say. We believe in Schoen and Daboll together. Daboll wanted Dort. Where would they be without Jackson Dort? Come on.
They'd be unwatchable like they were the last couple of years. Sal, think about the 4 options. Both men back, one of the men back. I'm sorry, both men back, both men gone. Daboll back, or Schoen back.
This was the worst one.
They chose the worst one.
I agreed. If you fired Schoen and kept Daboll, I'd still be yelling, but at least that would be a better option than this.
Yep.
This is the worst thing that they could do. Dom is calling from Long Island City. What's up, Dom?
Hey, guys. Love the show.
Thanks, Dommy. What's cooking, bud?
So I just wanted to make 2 points really quick. First being, I can't disagree with you about Schoen. It has been bad, but in reality, if you look at his draft picks, he has picked a lot of talented players. So I think you're being a little bit too tough on him. Personally, I would have fired him, but based on who he's brought in, Neighbors, Thomas,
oh my God. Oh my God.
I mean, how much better could you have done?
Whoa. Did you say Thomas?
Yeah.
He didn't bring him in.
Talented tackle.
Yeah, that's not him.
He didn't bring Andrew Thomas in.
That was Gettleman. So,
pardon me.
But that's a big one.
It's maybe the biggest one.
Yes, it is.
Neighbors, anybody could have picked Neighbors, and I still argue that it was the wrong pick back then, not because of the player, because I thought they needed a quarterback. And you can say Jackson Dart. We don't know.
But he did pick up Jackson Dart. My second point is everybody's looking for an established head coach with a winning resume. Nobody mentions Sean Gruden. I know he has a little bit of drama in his past.
Well, Dom, we talked about him yesterday for a while, Dom.
The Giants are a failing franchise. They need an injection. They have a young, spunky team. Mm-hmm. He's an established head coach. He's got a resume, and I saw him on a podcast with Jackson Dart. And he was telling him exactly what he needed to hear. Stop lowering your shoulders.
Yeah, we did this yesterday, Dom. We've been talking about Gruden for a couple of weeks. I mean, or even a couple of years.
Nobody wants him. I don't understand. What's the issue?
Not nobody.
Do you remember the emails? And do you remember the situation that he found himself in the NFL? There's a reason why he's not a head coach, and there's a reason why Brian Flores at the moment is not a head coach. I mean, it's going to take I think it's going to take a strong swallow in terms of, all right, if we were to hire Gruden, it's going to be a rough couple of days PR, but that will eventually blow over.
Gruden, especially not now.
I don't think that they will, but think about this. If you're Gruden, you can't be picky at this point. So, maybe it works out. Like they get a veteran coach and it's Gruden and he's like, all right, I don't really want to work with Joe Schoen. I don't really believe him, but if nobody else can offer me a job or believe in him, then I got to take what I could get. So maybe they stumble upon that, but this is just ass backwards. That's the bottom line. It is ass backwards by the Giants.
I'd still like to see, and you could give me a few of the players that Joe Schoen has hit on. Okay, hope so. He's been here for 4 effing years.
I know.
Hey, Joe Douglas hit on a bunch of players too.
He did. Yes, he did.
That does not. Of course, you can hit on some. How were the big ones when they needed it the most? Has he drafted a competent offensive lineman? Evan Neal's one of the biggest busts in the history of the franchise.
He's not even active most games.
Jalen Hyatt can't play. Deontay Banks, significant regression. And again, I'm not just trying to pick on the bad, but he drafted Malik Neighbors. Wow. Holy crap, what a pick. The guy that everybody said was going to be a stud receiver. Wow. Brilliance from Joe Schoen. I don't know how the Giants are ever going to find a guy to replace him. I don't know how you do it. Even the quarterback, he didn't really want. Now, you do give him credit for it because ultimately they did select him, and he let Brian Daboll get his guy, but that's why you keep them together or you get rid of them together. Joe Schoen picked Brian Daboll. So if you think that Brian Daboll isn't good enough, what makes you think the guy who picked him is good enough? End it there.
God, they're lost, man. They really are with so many things here. It's really become sad.
Good God. I shouldn't be surprised, and I really wasn't, although when I see that in the way that it read, I actually was. Even with me saying that I'm not sure, BT, I think it's still possible they keep Schoen, I actually could not believe it when I read that full release.
888-808-1019. It's BT Sal. Wow, the Giants just keep on giving it to us, huh? All right, Who's On Football brought to you by Petro Home Services. Jonathan Taylor's out as he banged out 244 yards and 3 touchdowns, including a walk-off touchdown in overtime against the Falcons. So if you want to save on heating costs, go with Petro. Switch now and get $125 free heating oil with reliable delivery in any weather and live 24/7 service. Count on your local HVAC pros at Petro to stay warm and save this winter. Go to petro.com now and save $125 free heating oil or give a buzz at 888-PETRO02 today. Use propane. Ask about special offers. Propane not available in all areas.
On this Veterans Day, WFAN salutes all the men and women who have responded to the call to serve our nation. We thank you for your dedication to duty, your sacrifice, and your willingness to defend our freedom. From your friends at the Fan, we honor your service today and always.
Alrighty, folks, for weeks now, you've heard me speak about my new favorite water, Elevate Hydrogen-Infused Superwater. But did you know that Elevate isn't just the cleanest, most advanced water on the planet? Its potential benefits are actually backed by over 1,600 plus scientific studies. And just speaking for myself, I do feel quite amazing when I'm drinking it. So the question is, where can you pick up your Elevate? Well, if you do live in the 5 Boroughs, why not stop by your local Walgreens or Duane Reade? And if you're not local, check out Elevate at Amazon for complimentary shipping. Drink Elevate, as I do.
Hear that? That's the beginning of a journey powered by the confidence that comes from driving a vehicle so reliable, it's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Where your journey ends? Well, that's up to you. Visit your local Kia dealer today. Kia, movement that inspires.
See retailer for warranty details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available.
mNEXSpike COVID-19 vaccine mRNA by Moderna has arrived. To learn more and find it near you, visit mnexspike.com. That's mnexspike.com.
Good Morning Football Overtime. It's all about the NFL because it's made by the NFL every weekday. The show dives into the top headlines, bringing you in-depth analysis, engaging discussions, and exclusive access to the players and coaches from the field to the front office. Plus, they sit down with some of the biggest names in entertainment and tackle the latest trends in pop culture in and around the world of football. So catch Jamie Erdahl, Manti Te'o, and Kyle Brandt on Good Morning Football Overtime. Weekdays at 12 p.m. on My 9.
Think Verizon's best 5G network is expensive?
Think again. This season, bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store for a better deal. Then use those unwanted bills to wrap up goodbye gifts to AT&T. Or cut them into snowflakes to celebrate your switch from T-Mobile. 'Tis the season to save at Verizon. Just bring in your bill to your local Verizon store and we'll give you a better deal. Rankings based on Root Metric True Score report dated 1/2025. Your results may vary. Requires postpaid consumer mobile bill dated within the past 45 days and same name as person redeeming deal. Additional terms apply.
New Jersey might be small, but there's a lot of wow packed into this little state. Cork-popping wows, time to dine wows, Pine Barren wows. Find your wow at visitnj.org. New Jersey, little state, lot of wow.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Straight Talk knows the best holiday gift is simply saying yes.
Yes, you can stay up late. Sure, more cookies. Of course we can watch that movie again.
That's why we give you real unlimited data, so you can say yes to all of your family's streaming, scrolling, and sharing. And now at Straight Talk, get another gift worth giving, a free 5G phone with select plans. Because yes is the best gift to give.
Yes!
And receive. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
You can't count on much these days, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday this season, all the way through the AFC Championship game. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today.
Sunday no longer a fun day? We've got specialists for that. Walking the dog, unleash, knee pain? We've got specialists for that. With 45 Castle Connolly top doctors, Orland & Cohen specialists are considered among the best in the nation by their peers, which can mean a better outcome for you. From Staten Island to Southampton, our network is open 7 days a week, so you can feel better faster. Visit OrlandCohen.com.
This holiday season, find excellence in every detail in a new Volvo from Volvo Cars Ramsey. 8-time winner of the Volvo Excellence Award. Now find excellent offers with your first lease payment waived. Lease a new 2026 Volvo XC60 B5 plus all-wheel drive, $583 per month for 36 months at Volvo Cars Ramsey, where it's all about you. Call 833-853-2975 for details. MSRP $57,145. VIN 1292363. Loaner vehicle 4,210 miles, $3,700 down payment. Tax title registration extra. Zero security deposit. Ends 11/30/25.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
BT Sal back on the Fan, talking New York Giant football yet again. Now, look, we know that the GM meetings are taking place. Any news comes of that, and I'm not expecting much, although Stearns will speak later on today. Not sure about Brian Cashman. I mean, we'll, stay up to date on the hot stove stuff, BT, as it continues to grow here. But, and we get the Jets Thursday night, so a short week between games here. Jets will play the Patriots. I mean, one of the best teams in the NFL.
I'm excited, man.
Yeah, I just saw the line. I think they're 11.5-point underdogs. But either way.
Oh, went up a point. It started at 10.5, so you got that early Pats money. Okay, it's
Jets
okay.
will be back
Keep
in action.
disrespecting us, America.
Yeah, you got the Knicks back in action tonight, but obviously we're talking Giants here, and I just can't believe. Now, look, we should say, and we have talked about this, I don't want to get too much into detail of what's going on there, but we know that Mr. Mara is not doing well. Obviously, they released a statement about his health.
Yep.
I don't know if this is him making these decisions. I'm not trying to rip him for it. But if you look based off of the last 12 years, 10 years, whatever it is, it's the same thing over and over again. So however they're doing it clearly hasn't worked. I can't believe that they can look at the same team that we're all watching and believe that it's a good young nucleus of players. I mean, are they just that foolish to be like, well, you got Neighbors, Scadaboo, and Dart, and we're good to go? No, that's not how it works. And again, I don't know the future of the decision-making or all that stuff or exactly how it goes on, so you want to be sensitive to that. I just couldn't disagree more with this particular decision from the New York Giants and the way that they have operated for the last decade.
The Giants could have fired both. They could have kept both. They could have kept Daboll or fire Shane, or they could have fired Daboll and kept Shane. And they did the one thing that I would not do. Of those four options, they did the thing that I would do last there. So, yeah, it's incredibly confounding. It seems like it's a merry-go-round where Mr. Mara and Mr. Tish have a conversation. They decide however that decision is determined or how it gets there. But apparently it got there the other day after the Bears game. And here we are yet again. And, listen, sometimes you get a little lucky and sometimes things work out despite it seeming very, unconventional. Like, this is not what I would do. This is not what you would do. But it doesn't mean that they can't stumble upon success. I'm not saying that. Nobody's really saying that. The problem is...
I am. It's not happening for them. Yeah.
I think that they could stumble upon success. Well, that's what I'm saying.
Well, why hasn't it happened over the last 10 years?
Because they're inept. What I'm saying, though, is... And we're kind of saying the same thing. But really, if they don't stumble upon it, and even if they do, it's impossible to give them the benefit of the doubt. You ought to look at the Ravens or the Niners or the Eagles or the Chiefs or the Bills or now maybe the Patriots and maybe 7 or 8 other teams, the Lions, that are doing things the right way. They hire properly, they draft properly, they develop properly, they win games. They looks like they know what they're doing. The Giants are the complete antithesis. And until they get lucky or they get it right, they're not getting the benefit of the doubt. Not for me.
Sports Talk on WFAN is presented by Paramount Plus. Can't count on much, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. Jeff is in Milford, Connecticut. What's up, Jeff?
Hey, good morning, guys. Great show. Love you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff.
Happy Veterans Day to all the veterans out there also.
Yes, sir.
I want to make a point, use a couple points to agree with why the Giants had to make a move with Daboll and get rid of him. First of all, his first season there, they had a soft schedule. And they capitalized on that. They got to the playoffs. They won a game on the road. It was great. Then got exposed in that second game.
Mm-hmm.
Without that season having ever even happened with that soft schedule, we'd be having this conversation a year ago. Probably.
Well, we were having it a year ago anyway. I don't think anybody disagrees at this point about Daboll. It's about Shane.
Okay, so this year, right? There's a largely held belief, and I could even refer to my Cowboys friends, fans, and Redskins, Commanders.
Yep.
Eagles. They even agree. This team, let's just say for argument's sake, could be, and I know it's coulda, shoulda, woulda, but they could be 5-5. Let's just say. But why aren't they? Is that because of Joe Schoen?
Yes.
Or is it because of the coaching?
It's because of everything.
Yeah, but they could be 5-5 in contention, but they're not. That's not Joe Schoen's fault on game day.
It absolutely is. Who's deciding on the kicker?
I don't know. It's not Joe Schoen.
Who drafted the defensive players that keep coughing up these leads?
Last year, the Giants went into a game against the Commanders without a kicker early in the season.
Whose fault is that? Agreed. Whose fault is that?
It's got to be the coach, not elevating someone, not having someone ready to go.
That's a collaborative thing. And listen, you're in charge of the roster. You got to take a hit for that. That's ridiculous. But Jeff, hold on.
One more quick.
Hold on a sec, though, Jeff. Jeff, hold on.
Yeah.
What is why have the Giants lost games? Why have they collapsed? Specifically, what part of the ball? We all know it is. It is.
It is on defense.
It's on defense. Okay, hold on. It's on defense. We all know that. We've all watched it, right? So the resources that have been devoted to this team by the general manager are primarily on the defensive side of the ball. How do we prop him up for that? If anything, he's got to take a hit.
I agree. I agree with that.
Well, then why are you defending him, Jeff?
Let's take one more game this year, and then I'll get off the line.
Mm-hmm.
But let's take the Denver game. Let's just say in a hypothetical world that in the fourth quarter, the game is going as it's going when the Giants have the big lead. Let's say that we have Sean Payton as our head coach, and they have Brian Daboll as their head coach. You think Sean Payton might say something to Bowen? Hey, why are you only rushing 3? Why is Dexter on the sideline when we're only even just rushing 3? Why did we go to a prevent defense? I think Sean Payton's going to call that to order.
Jeff, you're missing the point. Nobody's disagreeing about Daboll. We agree on Daboll. If you think that Daboll's solely to blame, that's where we have a big disagreement. You think Brian Daboll's the one who's at fault for the last 4 years with this regime?
No, but he's the head coach.
And he's gone.
No.
He's not anymore.
It doesn't matter.
So now
how many players have we gone off other teams that have been successful?
Jeff, he's gone. Daboll's gone. Do you believe they're going to be successful now with Joe Schoen?
Sometimes, sometimes the coaching changes the whole culture in the locker room.
Well, then why hasn't that worked for the last 12 years for the Giants? They've done it 4 times. Listen, so, you see it a little differently, which is fine, but think about the first thing that you brought up. He said, well, the Giants had a bit of a soft schedule that first year, which, by the way, was true. I remember going through that in real time, starting with Tennessee. I believe Carolina was there. The Commanders weren't quite what they were a year ago, for sure. So it was definitely an easier strength of schedule. We all know that. But you make it seem like the Giants were on autopilot the couple of years before that, like they were winning 10 and 12 games. Before Daboll got here, they were 3-13, 5-11, 4-12, 6-10, 4-13. That is 5 years of absolute ineptitude and complete losing. Now, the schedule was easy, but you got to give Daboll credit for cranking out 9 wins in a row playoff game. So I think that that's unfair, because what you're doing is you're basically saying the only reason Daboll had success was because of the circumstances of the schedule, and the only reason, or the main reason, why the Giants can't win is because of Daboll. And it's really not that. That's not fair.
You know who doesn't get credit for that first year? Joe Schoen.
Correct.
Joe Schoen doesn't get credit for that first year. And even with your points, it was all anti-Daboll. It wasn't pro-Joe Schoen. Do you know why it wasn't pro-Joe Schoen? Because there is not enough evidence to be pro-Joe Schoen. There isn't. You could pick certain picks. Of course. Look at how many draft picks he's had in the top 10. Good God, if you didn't hit on one or two of them, I mean, it'd be John Idzik, for goodness sake. What has Joe Schoen done well? Where's the depth? Where's that defense? Where is it? Where's the depth in wide receivers? Where is it? There isn't any. Where's the offensive line? It's not there. Where's the record? Joe Schoen has stunk. Has he been better than some others before him? Maybe. It seemed like Gettleman didn't know what he was doing, yet most of this regime's success has been because the guys that Gettleman bagged.
Mm-hmm. And the Eagles, too, because of Saquon. So, think about this, and I think you mentioned Joe Douglas before, but eventually, it expires on, this guy knows how to draft a little bit. It's got to be supported by wins here, guys. So I would ask you this, whether it's, Garrett Wilson or Gardner or Quinnen or Olu Fashanu, of the players that were drafted by the previous regime for the Jets, a couple of those players are thought to be among the best at their positions. Outside of Malik Neighbors, where does that apply for somebody that Joe Schoen drafted?
I really believe the way that it's worded. Now, again, I don't know this. But I do know this. The Giants have been nothing but losers for over a decade.
Well,
the way that it's worded makes me think whoever's making those decisions, including ownership, obviously, is caught up in the Neighbors, Scadaboo, Dart. That trio.
That's a short-sighted way to look at it,
If
boy.
you want to say the defense as well, I mean, I haven't seen Abdul Carter making the impact that we expected.
He's got a half a sack. And I know about the pressures before you start tweeting me.
Yeah, that's great.
I know.
That's great.
Get a sack.
Yeah. How many pressures did LT have? Come on here. We're not talking about pressure. We're talking about sacks.
I never heard that stat when we were young. Did you get Randall Cunningham, or did you just breathe on him?
It could be effective. It's not as effective as a sack. And clearly it's not effective enough because the defense, which is supposed to be the strength, has been a weakness for this Giants team. Has Kayvon Thibodeau been what he was supposed to be when he was drafted, whatever it was, number 5 overall?
Do you like the punter? Do you like the kicker? No.
The kicking decisions, let's blame the hit. The head coach should have gotten some blame. He did get some blame. He's gone. What's the excuse for keeping the general manager? That's where we're at. BT and Sal on the field.
I would think that I'm going to say that thought. I actually have a response to that. Not that I agree with it, but I'll lay it on you coming up next. 888-808-1019. BT and Sal on the fan on a Tuesday. What a stunner. More Giant stuff. Hey, Sal, traffic a little light today, but for the first time, a little bit, I noticed it, which gave me an extra enjoyable ride in my Cadillac. Now, I've got the XT6. I was in the Escalade IQ EV for about a month or so, all electric. Wow. I was a little overwhelmed at first. Never had the electric. I didn't really know how to charge it up. I went to Target once. I got basically 490 miles. The thing lit up like a spaceship. I was getting massages when I was driving. It was insane. And obviously, Cadillacs, a lot of different reasons to drive them, whether it's the big way to make an entrance or just the range or whatever it might be, the performance. There's always been a good time now, Sal, to say, let's take the Cadillac.
Yeah, the all-electric Cadillac family of vehicles. You mentioned it. You had the Escalade IQ. I had the Optic. I drove the Lyric last year. There's the Vistic as well. They're all great. So such a smooth ride. The safety features are second to none. Those safety features are great, and I loved the all-electric vehicle. I was hesitant at first, not sure. I don't know. The unknown sometimes could get you a little uneasy, but once you figure it out, and it's easy to figure out, literally you plug it into your wall and plug it into the car. I didn't have to go to the gas station for a week when I had the car. Make sure you visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer today. The BT Sal Show, presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Giants.
It's Boomer and Gio, mornings on the Fan, 101.9 FM.
Jackson Dart is the better player. There's no question about it. He's so far advanced from a lot of these other players, these other young quarterbacks that other teams are hoping the light's going to go on. But, it's really unfortunate that he ends up putting himself in a bad situation.
Listen to Boomer and Gio on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Boomer Esiason with an Odyssey Sports Minute. After Chicago's come-from-behind victory over the Giants, rookie head coach Ben Johnson publicly criticized his own play calling. I want those guys to understand I take a lot of ownership in what we put on tape, as do they, Johnson said. We're all in the same boat. Top-down accountability does build trust, folks, and helps explain Chicago's resurgent, surprising 6-3 start. I'm Boomer Esiason.
Now that I'm a dad, I can't stop thinking about what would happen to my kids if something happened to me, like losing the house or not affording college.
Yeah, that used to keep me up at night too. It's why I finally got life insurance from Ethos. It's 100% online. No medical exams, just a few health questions. I got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day.
I never realized it was that simple. Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Rates may vary. Bill monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Tap Room is your casual gathering place for real food, craft beverages, and every New York football, hockey, and basketball game. With 9 Long Island locations and weekly specials, it's where friends come together. TapRoomofNY.com.
Who's ready to hit the ice? It'll be another exciting hockey season with BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. From same-game parlays to live bets, you can call your shot during any play. Rooting for your favorite players? You'll find all sorts of markets for betting on any star's performance on any given night. Don't miss any of the action on the ice by getting all your picks in with BetMGM. Ready to shoot your shot? Download the app today and make your bets. BetMGM, make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York only. Subject to eligibility requirements, rewards may vary and expire in 7 days. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
For all station contest rules, go to WFAN.com/rules.
Oh, hey, welcome to gift wrapping. Whoa, Zoe Saldana.
Hey, can you wrap these, please?
Wow, iPhone 17s. You splurged.
At T-Mobile, you can get 4 iPhone 17s on them. It's the perfect gift for everyone.
I'm the worst. I only got my mom a robe.
Well, it's better than socks.
So I have to trade in my old phone, right?
No, at T-Mobile, there's no trade-ins needed when you switch. Keep your old phone or give it as a gift.
Incredible.
In fact, wrap up my old phone, too, for my Aunt Rosa. Forget that. Aunt Liz will be jealous.
Sounds like my family. Drama.
Oh, I got it. I'll give it to my abuela. I'll take reindeer paper with, hey, where are you going?
To T-Mobile. Thanks, Zoe.
The holidays are better at T-Mobile. Get 4 iPhone 17s on us. No trade-in needed when you switch. Plus 4 lines for just $25 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 4 eligible port-ins on essentials for well-qualified customers. Auto pay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge credits and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 256 gigabytes, $830 required. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Ray Cattina Lexus of Freehold and Ray Cattina Lexus of Monmouth. 1 legendary name, 2 exceptional destinations.
Dunkin's $6 meal deal is here for the holidays. Enjoy a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, 6-piece hash browns, and a medium iced or hot coffee All for $6? It's got everything you need to keep your holiday season running. Get it now in Dunkin' stores or order ahead directly on the Dunkin' app. After all, the holidays run on Dunkin'. No substitutions. Participation and times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
BT Sal back on the Fan, 888-808-1019.
All right, I think the Giants took the easy, lazy way out here. I really do. When you fire a coach is gone, the rest of the building can still operate. When you fire a general manager, the entire building turns over. Every scout that you have out there in every part of the country, all of the draft board work you've already done as an organization, all of the early work you've already done on free agency, and trust me, they're already deep into it. Every franchise is in. So I don't believe, this is just my opinion, I don't believe, or have a very hard time believing, that the Giants are retaining Joe Schoen because they think he's some incredible asset. I just believe that based on where they are, and maybe this is just something they don't want to do right now for different reasons,
Yeah.
To turn over an entire building, the work that is required to do that is maybe something the Giants and maybe Mr. Mara at this point doesn't have the appetite to do.
Understand. All we can do is react to what we know. And I know that this decision is the wrong one. I would have felt much better about it had they just... I'm always a believer in that. When it comes to the Jets, too, it's the same thing. You have your philosophies, your core philosophies, and you stick to it no matter what. The timeline is very important to me. The continuity is very important to me. Keeping a general manager who hired the head coach together. There's a right way to do things and a wrong way to do things. Why would you let a general manager... Same thing with Joe Douglas. Why would you let him... Why does he get two cracks at picking a head coach? The time on the Jets had was so convoluted, it's impossible to even go over it again. What I do know is I believe this time they got it right. At least the timeline of it. Muji, Glennon, now there are some signs in year one where you should be encouraged. Does it mean that they're going to hit on all these draft picks? No. We'll find out. Year 2, year 3. We'll know by year 2, year 3, certainly by year 3, and then definitively by year 4 if it takes that long. And same thing with Joe Schoen and Daboll. I liked the move at first when they hired those guys. My one issue was that they forced on the new regime the two biggest guys from the holdovers with Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley. It made no sense. And that led to, yes, some early success, but ultimately more failures with sticking with Daniel Jones. You should have had the clean-out process right out of the gate in year one.
Yeah, I agree.
Then you don't have to attach yourself to a quarterback who was, I'm not so sure, or decisions with the running back. Just make the decision now. We're moving on. Barkley's great. We're moving on as a franchise. Daniel Jones could be good. He's not our guy. We're moving on. They didn't do that, and look where it led them ultimately. To where year 4, they finally have the quarterback that they picked, who, by the way, is good, and it still got the head coach fired, and now they're keeping the general manager. None of it makes any sense to me.
The truth of the matter, Sal, was always a very flimsy foundation. That's really what it was. It was a very misleading foundation. Take Leon Rose, right? So Leon Rose earned the right to fire Tom Thibodeau, okay, and select his new coach, because the moment that Leon Rose got here, he distinguished himself as a general manager that was different than his predecessors. He got rid of the dead weight. He collected a lot of draft capital, got some free agents, hired Tom Thibodeau, got the foundation, which was not flimsy. It was rooted in work ethic and tenacity with Tom Thibodeau. And then once that expired, Leon Rose had earned the right to hire Mike Brown. And we'll see if ultimately Mike Brown is the right answer. But how the hell does Joe Schoen earn the right to hire the next Giants coach? That's the point.
I don't think he has at all. Ryan is calling from Denver. What's up, Ryan?
Hey, what's up, boys? How are you doing?
Good, Ryan. How are you?
What's up, man?
Good. Happy Veterans Day to all the veterans out there. Two quick points. One on the GM and one on the potential next head coach is, BT, I don't know if you'll never remember, but 4 years ago when you were with Teak, we were sitting down, I called in, And I was talking about Brandon Brown and the fact that they brought him in from the Eagles organization, Howie Roseman-Tree. And I think that, him being inside the organization would have been an easy off-ramp for ownership to fire both Shane and Daboll, put Brandon Brown in, give him more power to make decisions. I think there's way too much family influence involved in what's going on and has been for the last decade. And let a guy get in there who has a lot of experience. I mean, listen, anybody could have picked all these guys in the first 5 picks of the draft. Come on, I could have picked them sitting on my living room couch, for crying out loud. He's done nothing.
To give him credit from Malik Neighbors is just ridiculous.
It is, yeah.
And by the way,
ridiculous.
for the record, Neighbors hasn't done much. Like, I get the talent, but the results have not been there from Malik Neighbors. He's hurt all year. Okay, what are you going to do about it? I'm just saying, let's not make it like Neighbors is producing at a high level. He hasn't yet.
Sure. And so I think Brown, inside the Eagles organization, they've been trying to get him back. I don't think they wanted to let him go in the first place. But somehow Shane pulled that off when he first got here, got him over. He should be elevated. On the coaching front, somebody that no one's talking about, and I'm going to give you 2 quick stats on this guy this year. Curt Cignetti, Indiana Hoosier football.
He just got that big extension. Yeah, I've watched him a few times. Obviously, Mendoza, great defense. Go ahead.
The IU offense, points per game, 41.3, number 2 in the country. The IU defense, opponents' points per game, 13.4, number 3 in the country. Enough said. If he passes the eye test.
You're going to hire him to be the head coach of the Giants?
Yeah, but right, hold on a second. Right, you can't say enough said.
He did it at JMU, and he's doing it in the Big Ten, and he's quick on the turnaround.
Oh, I'm not saying he's not a great coach. I'm not saying he's not a great coach. I mean, Indiana values him to the point where they just gave him a monster extension. And I appreciate the out of the box thought. Nobody has brought that name up, and I've watched him play a few times this year. As I've said, I'm a big fan. But there's been a lot of other college coaches, Sal, over the years who have prolific offenses, simultaneously big-time defenses. Doesn't mean you're built for the league. Doesn't mean you're not, but doesn't mean you are.
I was sold on Matt Rule for the Jets at the time.
So was I.
And
I loved Matt Rule.
You know what made me think that Rule was the guy? When he turned down the Jets when he didn't have full control.
Yeah,
that
I remember
to me said he's the guy. But
well, you win at Temple. Like, there's certain spots if you win at, I'm like,
he was a proven program builder.
He was.
And then he gets to Carolina, and it was a disaster. So I still believe in him as a coach. I can't go that way. I'm not saying it wouldn't be successful. Me personally, I can't hire the head coach of Indiana. He may be a great head coach. And by the way, why would he ever leave there to come to the Giants?
Yeah.
You've got the cushest job in college football. You're going to get paid a big amount here to stay. If anything, maybe you leave there to get a bigger amount in college, not the NFL.
Well, think about that. I don't know what his appetite is. Maybe he wants to eventually coach on the biggest stage. Maybe, I'm not really sure what his motivation is. But, think about this. If you get a job at Notre Dame or USC or LSU or one of those big schools where you're expected to win, obviously Michigan, Buckeyes, a few others, like, it's a year-to-year grind, even if you have a one-loss team, right? If you do what he's doing in Indiana, even if you take a step back, which I think invariably he will at some point when he loses to Mendoza, just stay in the top 25. No one's going to bother you because Indiana's a basketball school, and now they're paying you like it's Michigan.
Yeah, I just would not. I don't think the Giants are in that spot where they could go get a college coach, any college coach, even the best one. Steve is calling from New Hyde. That's me. Steve is calling from New Hyde Park. What's up, Steve?
Stevie.
Hey, what's up, Sal? What's up, BT? How you doing?
Good.
I just want to say I'm honored to share my birthday today to all the veterans. So happy Veterans Day.
That's awesome.
Happy birthday.
For your service for my dad and my brother who served.
Great. Whole family, huh? That a boy. Very well done.
Yeah. Just part of the Giants fan. I agree with you. What you were saying earlier. I felt like, they should have also shown Shane and Bowen the door. It's neither you fire everybody or I would agree with you, BT. You were saying keep Daboll, let Shane go, because at least Daboll was wanted Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart was his guy, and I felt like they were building a good rapport before, unfortunately, the concussion injury to Dart. That being said, I have a head coach replacement. I was thinking that maybe the Giants can reach out for, which would be Lane Kiffin. Coach at Ole Miss.
Go ahead. Okay, finish your thought. Go ahead, Lane. Ole Miss,
for defensive coordinator Matt Patricia from Ohio State. Maybe Patricia wants to come back to the NFL and be the defensive coordinator. And hopefully, maybe for next year's draft, maybe the Giants could draft Jordan Tyson, wide receiver from Arizona State.
He's going early. Yeah, there's a lot there, Steve. The only thing.
Yeah, thanks for the call,
So,
Steve.
Hop,
Happy
you were saying that what? Carl Banks wants Patricia to come and be the DC. Is that what you said?
I heard on his a quote on his podcast. He went out there basically saying, "I'm not calling for anybody's job, but I'm just saying Matt Patricia.
Yeah, he should be the DC. Get lost, Bowen. So I'm not saying it, but I'm saying it. So, and the other thing was, what was the first thing that he said there? Oh, Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
All right. So I brought up Lane a while ago. Now, I read something the other day where Jackson Dart's father, I guess they have a text thread. They're obviously very close, and he was kind of joking around, hey, if something changes, would you want to come coach in New York? And maybe Lane was just being respectful to Daboll, who at that point was still employed. See, there's two versions of Lane Kiffin. There's the version that was a drinker and his own admission. It was out of control, unchecked ego, and just a walking time bomb, but also brilliant. He's cleaned up the other stuff, went to rehab. This is all stuff that he's been very straightforward with, so I'm not talking out of school. And also, when he was with the Raiders, he was a young, egotistical punk. Like, he thought he was the man, and he wasn't. I think he's been humbled. If they would want Lane Kiffin, I would hire him in a heartbeat.
I just worry about hiring him for Jackson Dart, and I would not be doing that. I'm looking to hire the best head coach and build a program beyond whoever the quarterback is right now. Now, what's appealing to me about Lane Kiffin is all the things that you just said. I believe in somebody who's done it before. I believe in somebody who's been humbled and is going to get a second opportunity and has learned from his mistakes and built his way back up. That I believe in. So he would be on my list. Obviously, the fact that he worked with Jackson Dart would be a bonus. I just wouldn't go say, well, Lane Kiffin, because of the success that he had with Dart at Mississippi State, that to me would not be the reason to hire him.
Understood. You'd have to be comfortable in his ability to hit the other facets of the team, and walk into defensive meeting. Hey, guys, what's going on? Special teams. Hey, guys, what are we doing? Like, I think he's got that personality. Now, obviously, the rapport with Dart to me is appealing, but it would be less appealing like if he was kind of this almost introverted, cerebral type who I didn't think could command the room. I think Kiffin's got a big enough personality to handle the New York media. I'm not saying he's my first choice, but he's certainly on my top three, and I would be very interested in that. I don't know if he wants to leave Ole Miss for a bigger job in college football or come and coach in the NFL.
Well, what's his deal with Ole Miss? He's still young enough to where he could still move up.
Yeah, he's 50. I mean, there's a lot of big jobs open. Notre Dame could be open. I don't know.
LSU.
Yeah, I mean, if Ohio State doesn't beat Michigan, Ohio State could open up.
But let's
LSU,
say,
yep.
Okay, Penn State, big job. You're not leaving Ole Miss to go to Penn State, are you?
I wouldn't at this point
SEC
myself.
School?
What are you going to get, a few more $1 million? I think the jump for Lane is either stay there or go to the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. All right, BT and Sal on the Fan. Take a quick break. Come back with more of your calls. 888-808-1019.
It's the Nets and Raptors, 7:30 tonight. The home of Brooklyn Nets basketball is the Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
Alrighty, folks, for weeks now, you've heard me speak about my new favorite water, Elevate Hydrogen-Infused Superwater. But did you know that Elevate isn't just the cleanest, most advanced water on the planet? Its potential benefits are actually backed by over 1,600 plus scientific studies. And just speaking for myself, I do feel quite amazing when I'm drinking it. So the question is, where can you pick up your Elevate? Well, if you do live in the 5 boroughs, why not stop by your local Walgreens or Duane Reade? And if you're not local, check out Elevate at Amazon for complimentary shipping. Drink Elevate, as I do.
Stars rise, legends are made, and one player rules them all. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, brings you King of the Court every Tuesday. Here's the deal. DraftKings puts up $1 million in bonus bets each week. Opt in, apply your token, and place a $5 pregame bet on the NBA star you think will dominate each Tuesday. If they finish the night leading the league in points, rebounds, and assists, they're crowned King of the Court, and you win your share. Download DraftKings Sportsbook and use code WFAN for your shot at a share of $1 million in bonus bets with code WFAN. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. 21 and over. New York only. Eligibility restrictions apply. One token per customer that expires at the start of the final NBA game when offered. Winning shared as $1 million in non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
Another app for inventory, one for CRM. Oh, don't forget accounting. Wait, which login was that?
Or you could use Odoo, one fully integrated system that does it all without the hassle. Ditch the app overload. Get everything your business needs on one platform. Try Odoo free today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature-Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
We love talking about the Knicks and Nets on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
And this report brought to you by Chef IQ. Precision cooking, effortless results. Visit chefiq.com. The Knicks back at it tonight, seeking a fifth straight win as they take on the Grizzlies. New York a perfect 6-0 at home at the Garden. Meantime, the Nets will be home for the Raptors. That's on the Fan at 7:20. Reports this morning say that the Mavericks will be firing GM Nico Harrison today, though that is not a done deal just yet. Monday Night Football closed out the week in the NFL with the Eagles beating the Packers 10-7. Green Bay at MetLife Stadium Sunday to take on the Giants. Thursday night, Week 11 opens with the Jets and the Patriots from New England. On the ice, the Rangers got a win at the Garden, their first of the season, beat the Predators 6-3. Couple of goals for Artemi Panarin. And the Devils scored late to even things with the Islanders, but it was Matthew Barzal that scored an overtime game winner as the Isles beat the Devils 3-2. This report brought to you by Total Orthopedics. They are the experts at getting you back to being you. They are Long Island's premier orthopedic practice, from simple sprains to broken bones to complex sports injuries. They are the experts at getting you back to being you. Total Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Visit TotalOrthoExpress.com today. Also brought to you by Town Fair Tire. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Current temperature brought to you by Bet365. When it comes to sports books, Bet365 has it all. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus, must be located in New York. It is a chilly 38 in Central Park. And that's what's happening in Jerry Recco on WFAN, now streaming our podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
BT Sal show off the Fan is presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Giants. Get back to the calls here in just a second. Something I saw from Ian O'Connor. Do we have him in studio for the Aaron Rodgers book? I think we might have. I feel like I remember speaking with Ian, or maybe we had him on somewhere else. But yeah, I think he did. You remember that, BT, or no?
I don't remember having him in studio. And Ian's Maris guy, so I would probably remember that.
Maybe we had him on, but it wasn't in studio. Anyway, he tweeted out before, posted on X, I should say. Quote, I don't believe Joe Schoen is certain to be Giants GM next year. They needed someone to get things going on the search, especially with John Mara dealing with his illness. Ownership will make the final call on the coach in January, when I'd expect Schoen to be reviewed again.
Okay, but then that kind of contradicts the wording of their press release, if you think about it.
Yeah, well,
why would you let him conduct the head coaching search and then fire him?
But he just said, because of the health of Mara.
Well, that's what I brought up before.
Yeah.
Just because
they needed someone. This is Ian O'Connor, who's obviously a respected reporter.
No doubt, piped in.
Just saying that he doesn't believe it's a certainty that Schoen returns.
Mm-hmm.
They needed someone to get things going, especially with Mara dealing with his illness. Now, is that still ideal? No. Does the press? It didn't word it as Joe Schoen will lead the search. It should have ended there. It then said, we believe in the young core of this team, which would think more support for Joe Schoen, plus of what we know last year. Look, I don't know. I'm going to trust the respected reporter, Ian O'Connor. Here's what I know. Joe Schoen is here for now. The press release from the Giants themselves read as if Well, not as if. It said he's going to be heading the search for the next head coach, which does not, to me, make any sense any way, shape, or form. However, due to unique, unfortunate circumstances of Mr. Mara's health, maybe this was the only option that they had right now, and they could reassess in a few months.
That's what I was saying before, like not reporting it, but just trying to connect some dots here. You know, when you fire a coach, all right, coach, it didn't work out, clean out your office, but everybody stays. When you fire the general manager, you have to find an entire new scouting team. It just entails so much more. So, yeah, I mean, it's interesting that Ian would have that. I mean, he is very respected. I know him. I like him. I trust him, most importantly, for stuff like this. So I would think that that's on the table, and I think that it should be because, if you did just the first hour of the show here, we are absolutely perplexed how one man was spared and not having done very much good at his job, in our opinion, and the other man was unceremoniously shown the door when he's done a good job with the quarterback. So maybe it does add up.
Matt is calling from South Florida. What's up, Matt?
Hey, how's it going, guys? I don't know if anybody's brought this up yet, but let's just assume Shane is in charge of looking for a head coach. His contract is up after next season. So you're looking at extending him now. But nobody compounds problems better than the Giants. It makes no sense. Why would they just not get rid of him? This is just a bad look for the organization again.
Yep.
I love the way you worded that. They compound the problem. And it's very simple. Matt, you could think, or they could think, that Joe Schoen's been okay and has some semblance of talent. Why wouldn't you just clean house and start fresh? It doesn't make any sense. The next guy...
they're inept.
Yeah, well...
there's no other answer. They think they're smart people. They have no awareness. Just because you're rich doesn't mean you're a football guy. They own the team. They're not football guys. It's pretty clear. They are constantly choosing the wrong people, getting rid of the head coach, keeping the GM, hiring somebody, then firing that. I mean, they're gonna waste Jackson Dart's rookie contract, and they're gonna ruin his career, and then he'll go to another team and he'll win a Super Bowl.
Well, I mean, that's 9 steps down the road. To say that you're going to ruin somebody who's 22 years of age, his entire career, is a little bit much.
Not that far-fetched. If somebody called about that 7 years ago and said that would say, or however many years ago, with Saquon Barkley, we'd be like, wow, take it easy there. Barkley leaves the Giants, wins a Super Bowl the first year with the Eagles. Daniel Jones, what he's done with the Colts. And again, you're starting to see him come back down to earth a little bit. But you get the point, BT. I think the lack of awareness that the Giants have shown is on full display. Starting with, because in my mind, as Matt was going over his points, which I think were excellent, I'm like, okay, the one time I agreed with the Giants was when they hired Shane and Daboll. I don't think it was a bad hiring. It was a good pairing, good thinking, go outside the organization. The problem was that they still, even with that good decision, regardless of how it turned out, it was the right move at the time. Yeah. It just didn't work out. Even with that, they still forced Daniel Jones on the new regime, and that's Mara. That's Mara holding on to something that he believed in with Daniel Jones, and that was a mistake. Just hire the people to do the job, get out of the way, let them do the job, and you evaluate for 3-4 years, and then you make the decision. And the decision now should be to clean everybody out, bring in a new regime to start the next 4 years. This is not Joe Judge after 2 years or Shermer. This was different. This was the right time period. Wrong forcing the former quarterback or from the different regime on them, but this was the right time frame to evaluate a general manager and head coach. It would be also wrong to keep one and not the other.
John Mara's had a really rough run as the owner. He's made a litany of mistakes, and he's trying to outrun some of these mistakes. And I'm going to use the word compound again, or use it now. When you try to outrun mistakes and you're not thinking clearly and you want to kind of hasten the rebuild, you know, not that you even want to take a financial shortcut, but you think there's a more direct way to become relevant. Because let's face it, you know, as much as the Giants have been down, I think we all strongly believe, if not know, that John Mara really wants to get the Giants back. Come on, man. Yeah. We all know that he's a good man, and he's done a lot of good things as the owner. It's gone away from him, and he's kind of lost his fastball a little bit with this. I think the amount of time that he's been directly in charge has kind of directly correlated with this implosion for the Giants. So you can't not leave it at his doorstep. He's had a really rough run. Yeah. It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's been repeatedly, bad here for, as we said, over a decade. He keeps making the same mistakes. With that being said, I just wish that he would say, okay, well, we did the right thing by hiring Shane and Daboll, at the time we evaluated them, and now it's just time to move on and find the new one. I don't think this is a difficult decision at all. It's right there in front of him. He did the right thing. They were extra patient. We would have made the decision to fire him both a year ago and let somebody else new select the quarterback. That was the timeline that I was on, trying to prevent this exact thing from happening. So be it. They didn't want to do it. They gave him the extra time. Now there's no doubt, definitively, neither of these two guys are it. And yet it appears that they're keeping one. To further that point, what do you think is a proper time frame to evaluate a new general manager and a new head coach?
I think you need 3 years as a minimum. If you're a really bad franchise, like you inherit a lot of bad stuff, I would say 4. I don't need more than 4. I've seen all I need to see.
Me too. I think that's fair. Could it be a bit quick? You know, sometimes you want a general manager to be there 5-6 years and really see some turnover. You could.
That's a long run.
I'm just saying, in today's world, I think 4 is the perfect amount. You hire somebody. Now, obviously, if you're hiring a new general manager and head coach, that means whatever you were doing before wasn't working and it needs to be cleaned up. Some may be quicker rebuilds. Some may take some time, whatever. But 4 years is enough runway to evaluate. Year 1, you can't do it. Year 2, you really can't do it. By year 3, now you're starting to see the general manager's true imprint on the team, and you certainly should be able to evaluate a head coach. I think you could evaluate a head coach in 2 years, definitively 3. General manager, you're going to need more time. So there's no, we don't know what they could be or could have been. You gave them 4 years. It hasn't gotten turned around. They're still holding on to little semblance of hope with Joe Schoen, and the question is, why? When you could just hire somebody else new, start a new timeline, and evaluate the new guy over the next 4 years.
But I think the why might be because they're not ready for that kind of overhaul.
Because of his health?
You know.
Okay, but that's a different, but here's why they've done this before. So, which had nothing to do with his health. They continue to convolute the timeline.
Yeah,
here.
well, that's fair. Listen, I think this is the time where, and there's a time for everybody to do this. You got to throw your hands up and say, "Come help me." Like I've tried everything. I've tripped all over myself. I've made a million mistakes here. Let me hire somebody who's done it before and let me get out of the way and cut the checks. And that's what I think the Giants ownership should do right now.
You know what I think they need? I think they need some truth tellers in that organization. I think there are too many yes men. Too many people,
family members.
Too many people saying what everybody else wants to hear. Oh, Daniel Jones could do it, or whatever it may be. Or no, we have some nice. They need a truth teller to come in and be like, look, you could think that this guy picked some decent players. Your team sucks. Your defense sucks. It was supposed to be better. It sucks. The head coach sucked. You got rid of him. That's it's just not good enough. None of it's good enough. Yeah, okay, that's great that you think you found a quarterback. It's not good enough.
Like as an advisor, or you wish somebody was already there? Well, I mean, that would be ideal. I don't
care how they get it.
Well,
it needs to be said.
Yes, but the good franchises they already have it, and that's the problem. They don't have that. Where's the checkpoint?
But if you don't have it, you got to get it.
Well, that's why I'm saying. I think that maybe this is a situation where you bring somebody in to kind of look at everything as an advisory, like what Vrabel did and some others have done over the years. Just hire somebody for 2 months.
Too many times the Giants have believed that they're better than they actually are. And then the people that spread the propaganda with the Giants are trying to tell everybody else, the fans and media.
That's our fault.
Exactly.
Or it's better than it is. No, it's not. It's not.
Look at the record. Look at the record. End of story. So I don't think they have enough truth tellers. Now, that's why I look at a guy like Bill Belichick and say, he's not going to come in and mince any words. He's not going to kiss anybody's ass and say, yeah, I think the guy that you love, Daniel Jones, could be a good quarterback. I'll figure it out. Brian Daboll needed an opportunity to be a head coach. He wanted it, right? It's a first-time opportunity. So, of course, if the owner's saying, hey, part of this is going to be fixing Daniel Jones, what can you do? And if you're Daboll, you're going to say, yeah, I think we can maybe work with him. Let's see what we can do.
He can move a little bit. He's big. I can work with this for a little bit.
And he did. And now Daboll's hitched to that wagon for 3 of his 4 years.
Yeah.
He was hitched to Daniel Jones
and Tommy DeVito. No disrespect. Yeah. I mean, and Drew Lock.
Well, I know those are his guys, but I'm saying his whole point was.
But Danny was hurt, so when Danny goes down, think about who's got to play. They played some football for Daboll. Those names I just mentioned. That's not good.
David is calling from Rockland. What's up, David?
Hey, Dave.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? First, I want to wish everybody, all the veterans out there, happy Veterans Day. Thank you for your service. BT Sal, love you guys. Big fan. Lots to unpack here. I just want to take a look at the whole picture real quick in Cliff Notes. Obviously, we know GMs are tied to their draft picks. And I was in favor, if you were going to fire Daboll, which I didn't think they should do, to let Shane go as well. But they didn't do that yet. And I think Connor's onto something there. I do think Shane has done a good job in free agency. I think Illuminor was a great move. Obviously, Brian Burns. Nobody's really talking about how bad the offensive line is this year because they're not. John Runyon was a decent signing.
Decent.
For 2 years. Van Roten.
Yeah, okay. You're going to go over all of them, David? How come they haven't had any wins? They said the same thing last year, that it was an excellent draft. How come that didn't add up to wins? It's all on the coach, right? That's what I'm supposed to believe?
No, not at all. I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying it's kind of low-hanging fruit. You're not wrong, but like you asked me why they may be keeping Shane. I'm just giving you examples of that, right? So, again, I thought Daboll should have gotten an extension, quite honestly, because of what they did in their first year. And the last thing I want to mention about Shane when they took over, and you guys touched on it, it was a mitigated disaster when they took over. Salary cap hell, aging veterans with bad contracts.
Yep.
Shane had to clean all of that up, so you got to give him some credit for that.
Oh, fair enough. That's fine. And thank you for the call.
But I don't even think that's fair. If he cleaned it up, where's the evidence that it's cleaned up? They're 2-8.
Well, that's the point.
What did he clean up?
Well, the salary cap. So that's great. They're not in salary cap hell anymore. Congratulations. You still can't build a winner. So how many years is it going to take? Who's to say that we wouldn't be sitting here in the same exact spot next year after a 5th draft from Joe Schoen? Who's to say that that's going to change? They're betting that it will. I'm betting that it won't. Whose side are you going to be on? With the evidence being against them. You know what I'm saying? It could change, sure.
Mm-hmm.
It also couldn't. And then what's the excuse next year? Well, you know what? At least we've cleared out the salary. At what point are these great players and this great nucleus that Joe Schoen has selected and built, at what point are they actually going to start winning some bleeping football games? At what point? Because it's year 4 and they still haven't. So I ask, is it year 5? Maybe it's year 6. Like, at what point is it going to happen?
Well, I mean, generally you draft well and you get the finances in order. It shouldn't take another 5 years to get this thing going, which is what you're saying and what a lot of people are saying. Let's skew positively for one moment.
Yeah.
Let's say that the Giants absolutely crush whomever it is. They nail the head coach.
Mm-hmm.
They get it right. I mean, can they win 10 games? I mean, is this a team that can take off fast or no?
I'm glad you brought that up because that was going to be my next thing here. So the talent that they have, their record is god-awful. 2-8 is awful and unacceptable. Let's say, and I agree that they should be better than what they are. Let's say they're 5-5. Is that some feather in the cap of Joe Schoen that in year 4 his football team would be 5-5 and playing the way that they have, even if they held on to some of these wins? That's the feather in the cap? So when are they getting to by year 5, you should be a playoff team, no doubt about it. By year 4, you should be competing for the playoffs. By year 5, you should be in the playoffs, ready to go make some noise. Are the Giants there in year 5? Will they be there in year 5? The answer to me is a definitive no. I mean, their record is 20-40-1 in the last 4 years, led by Joe Schoen. That's his record as a general manager. 20-40-1. Even if I give him 5 more wins, it's still nowhere near good enough. And by the way, the bulk of those wins came in the first season with the holdover players from the Gettleman regime.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I ask, why are we just looking at it and saying, well, the salary cap is better and he's drafted some players? Okay, well, at what point then do you expect to see some results? Seriously, at what's the right
Well, it was
year?
supposed to be this year. Remember what I said, I guess I wish I didn't say it, but I felt it. The word that I used, I was bullish on both New York football teams. Remember, not going nuts. I'm not even talking playoffs, but like both playing meaningful football into December, at least early December. And listen, if the Jets would have beat the Steelers, maybe held on to beat the Bucs, maybe get the extra win, maybe they would have been there. If the Giants would have held on to some of these leads, they would have been there as well. So, like, there was an avenue for both of these teams to be competitive, but I'm of the mindset when you repeatedly lose the same way, you're not unlucky, you're just not good.
This was not supposed to be a year that went this way. And even the 5-5 wouldn't have been good enough. They still wouldn't have been as good as the Eagles or even close to the Eagles. I know they beat them this year. And even with the Eagles coming down, the Giants are not on that level. That was evident by the way they played them the second time. First time, yes, took advantage of it and not taking anything away. They're not on that level. They're not, to me, on the level of the top team, not even close to the top teams. Giants are closer to the Titans than they are to anybody else.
I know they are, but think about this. If the Giants were 5-5 now, all right, and we talked about this next stretch here. So now the Packers didn't look very good last night. Neither team did. That was a weird game. But you got the Packers at Detroit, at the Pats. That's a death trap right there. But then you got the bye week. Let's say if the Giants were 5-5 today, we are sitting here talking about the possibilities of a wild card spot because you got the Commanders, the Vikings, the Raiders, and Dallas at home to finish things up, and Dallas is going nowhere. So 5-5, which maybe it wouldn't have been, let's pop the champagne, throw a party. They nailed it.
It's year 4.
I get that.
They would have been in the playoff conversation, which is fine, but barely a playoff team.
Which is a good starting point. Now think about this.
Starting point.
Well, yeah. Well,
not year 4.
No. Well,
that's my point.
I got you, but yes and no for me, because think about. And I've said this, in a way they got unlucky because by winning 9 games in year 1, they created this template of unrealistic expectations. They had a soft schedule. They won a lot of low-scoring, ugly, close games. The defense helped out. Jones barely threw the ball. And they won. I don't know how the hell they won 9 games, but they did. If they would have been a 3-win team or whatever, like they should have been, or maybe 4 wins or even 5, if they would have finished this year with 8 or 9 wins, which they could have if they were 5-5. Now, I feel like it's a different evaluation.
Yeah. What should be the expectation for next year? That's the big question now, because they believe in the talent so much. They believe in the talent this year. Wrong again. They believe in the talent so much. It's all the head coach. Okay, I believe wrong. So the expectation next year should be division at bare minimum. It's year 5 with this GM who's brilliant. The guy's brilliant. I mean, he's got a great core of young players, picking great players all over the place. Year 5. I mean, you better be going out there and winning the division. More of your calls when we come back.
Get him that extension. All right, let me tell you guys, Cash App is built for this city. So we've got built-in security that's rock solid, Face ID, scam warnings, 24/7 chat support. Basically like having a bodyguard for your money. We all work hard, and we don't want to let it slip through the cracks here. So download the Cash App today. Use code WFAN and send $5 to a buddy within 14 days, and Cash App is going to reciprocate and double that with $10 right back in your account. Pretty good stuff. Terms apply. That's money. That's Cash App. Cash App is a financial services platform, not a bank. Banking services provided by Cash App's bank partners. Prepaid debit card issued by Sutton Bank, member FDIC. Direct deposit, overdraft coverage, and discounts provided by Cash App, a Block Inc. brand. Visit cash.app/legal/podcast for full disclosures.
On this Veterans Day, WFAN salutes all the men and women who have responded to the call to serve our nation. We thank you for your dedication to duty, your sacrifice, and your willingness to defend our freedom. From your friends at the Fan, we honor your service today and always.
We're counting down to Black Friday savings. It's the countdown to Black Friday at Nielsen Dodge. Hundreds of vehicles in stock with big savings off MSRP. Your countdown to the hottest deals is on now.
Lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited 4x4, just $199 a month. Or lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee L Altitude X 4x4, just $224 a month.
We all know it's the biggest sale of the year, and Nielsen's going bigger than ever. You can count on 0 down payment, plus up to $1,500 overbook value for your trade, and the credit help you need.
On Route 10 in East Hanover, online at NielsenDodge.com. A proud member of the Nielsen Auto Group.
The countdown is on. Don't miss out.
At Nielsen, Friday's in the driver's seat.
Black Friday sales event.
With approval term 24 months to its signed Cherokee 5794, Cherokee L 5819 at tax tag 498 dock and DMV fees.
New Jersey might be small, but there's a lot of wow packed into this little state. Beach wows, mountain wows, and show-stopping wows. Find your wow at visitnj.org. New Jersey, little state, lot of wow.
Makita's built for the pros who show up early, who don't do shortcuts, only precise cuts. With tools built to last, job after job, year after year. Performance that pays off, because when the job calls for the best, you answer. And when you need the best, you call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Great deals are waiting for you at your local Kia dealer during the Kia Season of New Traditions sales event. So, gift yourself some savings and drive home a capable Kia SUV or powerful Kia sedan today.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-4094. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-4094. That's 800-575-4094. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Listen to You Better You Bet with Nick Costa Sunday morning at 8 right here on The Fan. Nick will preview all the football action and get you ready for kickoff, presented by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Honey, that flu keeping you up? Did you take NyQuil Intense Flu?
Nah, I got this. Okay, I don't got this.
Yeah, you need NyQuil Intense Flu.
Undo your flu with NyQuil Intense Flu. NyQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms so you can sleep.
You do got this.
NyQuil Intense Flu. The nighttime sniffling, aching fever. Best sleep with the flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Everybody knows Town Fair Tire is New England's largest name brand discount tire dealer, beating all the local competitors with our guaranteed lowest prices. And now, with over 120 stores throughout New England, we beat all the competition, including the warehouse clubs, the online sites, and the local dealers. Yes, we beat them all with the absolute guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, The Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn.
The number to call. We get a little bald-faced truth, bald-faced lie coming up in a little bit. Before we get back to the Giant stuff here, I do want to rip Frank from Rails for one thing. And I say this now because I know Hoff might get into the Rangers, bald-faced truth, bald-faced lie.
Yeah, scored some goals last night, finally.
So, and get this. So Frank from Rails texted me over the weekend, hey, you want to go to the Ranger game on Monday night? And I'm like, well, how much are the tickets and where are the seats?
Mm-hmm.
I was assuming he was offering for free.
But you got to ask him. You can't assume that it's free. Sure.
And he said, seats might be uppers, but they're free.
Okay.
And I'm like, all right, I'll take them. Because I'm not turning down. We can't go to the Garden for free anymore. Like, we don't have the credentials to go there. Ranger game Monday night, I'll go. Whatever. Maybe this is the game they get right at home. I haven't been. I know Hoff's a big Ranger fan. I'll take Hoff. I text Hoff. He said, yeah, I'm in. No problem.
Mm-hmm.
Get a text back from Frank. Dude, you're going to kill me. The guy who was supposed to give me the tickets sold him or something. He's really sorry.
Psych.
Now, yeah, exactly. Now, it's not a huge deal. I was good either way. I said, don't worry about it. Not a big deal. But, I mean, Hoff and I were looking forward to going. And then we see what happened last night. I mean,
he missed out.
Frank dropped the ball on that.
You got to find a new steakhouse, Sal. That he won't do. Trust
me. It's a little tease. Yeah.
they heard that we were coming, so they got ready and scored. They were getting ready to score a bunch of goals for us. And then we weren't there.
Come on, the tickets turned into no tickets.
Boy, that's a pullback.
Yeah,
that doesn't sound like a Frank move.
I know. Now I can't, like I said, I can't really kill him. I'm just telling you what exactly happened.
I'm just going to put him on blast on the fan. I'm not going to kill him, though. I'm not going to kill him.
Now, I will have you note, that is the second time I've gotten screwed with tickets. Remember, Mitch in Fort Lee got me the wrong game. I had to go into my pocket for $500 for a kid's birthday present. For Nick's T-Wolves regular season, $500. Now, he did love it, so that ended up being worth it.
Big win, too. Nick's looked good that night. Yep, good energy.
Mitch screwed me, and now Frank and Rel's thinking I had a little freebie at the Garden. Go to the Garden.
Take it easy on Mitch. He's going through a lot of things.
Yeah, I know. He's all banged up. I mean, Hoff, come on. Hoff, you can't make fun of him. Mitch.
I'm not making fun of him.
What happened to him?
I'm making fun with him.
Yeah, he had something with his...
Bell's palsy.
Yeah.
What?
So we went to the...
Jeez.
Yeah, I know, because he had dental surgery, I think, and they said they hit a nerve.
But he's going to be fine.
Oh,
he's going to be fine. It's just like a temporary...
I know, but he's a mess. His whole... You can see
it's frozen, like it's sunk down.
Yeah, and his eye... His eye's all watery, so he's patching his eye all night with the napkin. I'm like, Mitch, you really should... He canceled on a birthday party for his family, and he went to hang out with us at Mickey Spillane's.
He went...
Oh, wait, I don't think we're supposed to say that on air.
He went? He drove with one eye?
You started it, Hoff.
I know. Sorry, Mitch.
Yeah. Anyway, stop screwing me with the tickets. That's the moral of the story here. BT and Sal, the fan, 888-808-1019. And I do think it's more on a much more serious note. We mentioned the report before from Ian O'Connor. And we kind of alluded to this. You started to get into it, and I was like, I don't know if we could get into the health stuff of Mr. Mara. But I do think that is playing a part here. So it infuriates me to think Joe Schoen is back. But if this is just semantics, or not semantics, but just biding time for Mr. Mara to get his health in order, or for the Giants to get their decision-making in order because of his health, maybe we should take the foot off the gas a little bit here.
I think we'd all be very understanding of that situation. And I think it would change the tone. And it should. It would for me. It would for you. It would for our show. Right now, I don't know that. I can only surmise that, which is why, our energy is messed up until we start to get counter reports. And maybe what we got from Ian is the first wave of counter reports. And I had even said that, again, not a report, but I thought that it's certainly a distinct possibility. So, listen, it's a very bottom line business, and illnesses and all those things which are horrible for good people, for any person, it doesn't preclude you from us doing our job.
Well, the conversation will then shift above Joe Schoen and be like, okay, well, if Mr. Mara's not healthy enough to make these decisions right now, well, then who is making the decisions? Because the bottom line for the sports fans, while we are certainly sensitive and praying and hopeful that Mr. Mara is going to be okay, sports fans, Giants fans just want to see their football team win. So obviously they want him in good health. That goes without saying, but we'll say it again just to make sure. And then the next part of that is, well, who's going to be the head coach? Who's going to be making the decisions? How's this football team going to get turned around? Will that take a back seat to Mr. Mara's health? I don't even know if Mr. Mara would want that. He wants to see this football team win first and foremost. So that's, it's a very delicate, difficult balance.
It is. And that's why we try to straddle that line of respect and also doing our job, of course. But, think about to the Hard Knocks sequence. I mean, John was involved in all that stuff. If you take him out of many of those scenes, who else in the building is maybe leading the football discussion?
Right.
There's
got to be somebody.
That's kind of the point, though. Is it a family member who maybe isn't quite ready or doesn't really deserve it? I don't know. I mean, but John Mara has been the football man for the Giants. I mean, it's much more than Tisch, right? So, who's making these decisions? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's a lot of play here.
I hate that we even have to talk about this, and we try to keep it on football decisions, but maybe this thing is, more serious than is known, and obviously if it's impacting the decisions for now. I guess the point is, just because Joe Schoen and the way that it was worded, just because he's retained for now, based on reports and from Ian O'Connor that we're talking about, doesn't mean he's going to be here beyond that. Talking about Schoen, so maybe we shouldn't go as nuts about it. It is just infuriating, though, to have the coach leave and to have a statement come out in support of Joe Schoen, who I think has failed the Giants organization worse than even the head coach.
And I think it's incredibly offensive that Shane Bowens is getting ready to coach another job and Brian Daboll is getting ready to play golf.
Yeah, I mean, that's a whole nother thing. Matt is calling from Freehold. What's up, Matt?
Matty.
Hey, guys. How you doing today? Happy Veterans Day. Big fan. I just wanted to talk about the Shane stuff. I hear a lot of people talking about all the great picks that he made, but if you go to the 2023 draft, almost every single one is a miss. I mean, the top three, Deontay Banks, John Michael Schmitz, Jalen Hyatt. Jalen Hyatt has 34 catches in 3 years.
It's a stiff.
So I don't know. I feel like, you could talk about all these. And by the way, that was after the one winning season. So when he didn't get these gimme top 10 picks, he had a really hard time picking. That's all I'm going to say about Shane. He should have been gone last year. I wanted to talk about the new head coach. I'm going to give you guys a name. I know you guys don't want first-timers, and I'm a little bit biased as a Broncos fan. But I'll tell you what, Shanahan and Kubiak are two of the great football families when it comes to coaching. And I really think that Clint Kubiak is going to be the next guy that you're going to be like, hey, this is a quarterback whisperer. This is a guy that knows how to handle an offense. I mean, look at their dads. If you look at, they worked together in San Francisco, then they went back-to-back in Denver. Then Gary goes to the Texans and becomes a great good head coach over there. He takes Kyle Shanahan under his wing. And, I just think that that's a pretty good thing. Even if you're going to get a first-timer, that's somebody that has a lot of pedigree.
Can he run a building, Matt? Matt, can he run a building? Because that's paramount this time around. They cannot mess that up.
I don't know. That's the thing.
Well,
that's the thing. And it's really, it is scary.
It is.
I just think the Giants are in a scary situation in general because right now things do not look good. And it's like when you're at the moment where any decision that we make could be possibly catastrophic, even worse than it's already been, it's scary, man. But, hey, thank you guys for taking my call. Hope I didn't bother.
No, not at all. Good stuff, Matt. Okay, so, listen, I don't think Mike McCarthy's amazing. I don't. But I think he's good. I think he's solid. I'm pretty confident if somebody like Mark, and I probably feel this way about Gruden as well, maybe a little less, but like if Mike McCarthy came, at least I know the Giants will be stabilized. And then they can maybe get to a 2 or 3 year or maybe 4 year window where they're always in the mix, maybe win a divisional title as Dak gets older. Commanders might be a mess again. Eventually, maybe the Eagles have to break up based on some caps. But and acknowledging that, like, he probably isn't the one to bring you a championship. But don't you think it's more appealing to find somebody that could take the baton when you're already highly relevant? No, than entrusting somebody as the next head coach of the Giants who you don't know if he can even be a modest success. There's a lot of risk.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
Look, this is a weird spot here with all that's going on with the organization. It is a unique spot and a challenging spot. Now, you could say, okay, well, they have Jackson Dart in place and some promising young players, so maybe it can be a good spot if you hire the right head coach, but how we're going to get there, I'm just not sure anymore. The idea of if you take it on the surface and go based off of the press release, it would show you that the Giants are continuing to make the same mistakes that they've made. If you start to read into the report from Ian O'Connor and start to think along those lines, bigger picture, I know it's a different issue, but it leads down to the road of who's making the decisions for this football team long term, which is going to impact them obviously short term as well. But that's a bigger, more important issue than if it's Mike McCarthy or Lane Kiffin.
I don't disagree, but let's say whether it's Clint Kubiak or Jesse Minter, a name that I mentioned, yes, it was with Harbaugh at Michigan. He's with them with the Chargers now. Chargers have a top defense. The Indiana head coach, Mendoza, we talked about him as well. I'm not saying that those guys can't get the job done, but they could be 3 absolute train wrecks.
You want to limit the risk.
They could be train wrecks. Yeah. So what conversation... Now, ultimately, the conversation would be whomever's hired, the Giants are winning a Super Bowl in a couple of years. But what's the more appealing conversation 3 years downstream? God almighty, they hired a clown again. They met... Well, I'm not calling Daboll a clown. Yeah. But some of the other ones that preceded him were. They failed again, and they absolutely whiffed, or they hired McCarthy, and they're good, but we don't think he's going to bring them to a championship. Who's the next guy to elevate them from what McCarthy took them to the championship?
Right, so you just want to get them back to the
I want to
median.
mitigate risk.
Yeah, no, I understand that. I want to do the same thing. It's why I'd be looking at Belichick, Gruden. A part of me likes Flores. I don't think this is the right spot for that. Not to mention he's actually suing the Giants. I thought he was just suing the NFL.
No, he's got a couple teams too.
Yeah,
it's like
Broncos,
3 or 5 teams.
Giants.
Yeah.
Well, and the Giants are one of them. So
I know.
hard to imagine. Hey, come on in.
Yeah, I mean, if you drop the lawsuit,
yeah, but you don't even want to go down that road. So I would also want to limit the risk, and I have my core beliefs, especially in New York, that I would not want to hire a first-time guy. Lane Kiffin would check the box of not a first-time guy, so he would be on there. I get McCarthy. If I'm going to go that road with McCarthy, I'd rather go Belichick or Gruden, me personally, over McCarthy.
Listen, the only thing that worries me, well, 2 things about Belichick. Number one, I'm not sure if he sells his fastball. Okay, but I also don't know if he's going to build out a staff. Like the thing that I'm not even sure.
You could hire your guy Patricia. Carl Banks wants him as the defensive coordinator.
You can bring your son along again.
Well,
I mean,
whatever.
Okay, great, and all that other stuff. Like, I think that of all the coaches, I think McCarthy would present a pretty good staff. Whereas, I don't know if Gruden would have a good staff at this point. He might. I would have doubts that Belichick would have a good staff. Because every time, he's lost, whether it's a McDaniels or Weiss and those other guys, Roma Cornell, he really hasn't really built out good staff. So there's a lot to worry about with Belichick. There's a lot to like, but even he's not a home run. To me, here's the problem. There's no home run. So you got to look for a solid double in the gap, and then maybe once you get a couple of guys on base, 3-4 years down the road, maybe there is a home run to take the baton and get you to a championship.
BT and Sal on the Fan Warrior calls. When we come back, actually, we get a little bold-face truth, bold-face lie as well. When you change jobs, your old 401k can get left behind, out of sight, out of mind, and out of your future. Pension Bee helps bring those accounts back together. In just minutes, you can roll over your old 401ks in a one Pension Bee IRA. Now you can be in control of your retirement savings. Doesn't that feel good? Take control of your money. Download the Pension Bee app and start today. Pension Bee, a better way to IRA. Portfolios with SPY and MDY. Investing involves risk. Nothing presented here constitutes tax, legal, financial, or investment advice. This Odyssey Sports Minute brought to you by the New Jersey Division of Highway Traffic Safety. Make the right choice. Don't drive impaired.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute. The New York Giants have fired Brian Daboll after a 2-8 start. Another stumble in the long, messy search to replace the glory days of Tom Coughlin and Eli Manning. Injuries, blown leads, and internal chaos sank Daboll's tenure and leaves New York searching yet again for a coach who can bring stability and restore the franchise's lost identity. I'm Maggie Gray.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-922-1284. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-922-1284. 800-922-1284. 800-922-1284.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results vary. Consult with your tax professional prior to enrollment.
Clouds and sun. Quite windy. High 45.
Weather brought to you by Robert Half. Our recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI will find you the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
Stars rise, legends are made, and one player rules them all. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, brings you King of the Court every Tuesday. Here's the deal. DraftKings puts up $1 million in bonus bets each week. Opt in, apply your token, and place a $5 pregame bet on the NBA star you think will dominate each Tuesday. If they finish the night leading the league in points, rebounds, and assists, they're crowned King of the Court, and you win your share. Download DraftKings Sportsbook and use code WFAN for your shot at a share of $1 million in bonus bets with code WFAN. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. 21 and over. New York only. Eligibility restrictions apply. One token per customer that expires at the start of the final NBA game when offered. Winning shared as $1 million in non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
Tune into the BT and Sal Show weekdays from 10 to 2 on the Fan. Presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac is the official luxury vehicle of the New York Giants.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WEB-NOW1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
American Dream is the biggest indoor entertainment complex on the East Coast, just minutes from Manhattan, with over 25 attractions for every age and thrill seeker. From DreamWorks Water Park to Nickelodeon Universe, plus shopping, dining, and more, all under one roof. Plan your adventure at AmericanDream.com.
Think Verizon's best 5G network is expensive? Think again. This season, bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store for a better deal. Then use those unwanted bills to wrap up goodbye gifts to AT&T. Or cut them into snowflakes to celebrate your switch from T-Mobile. 'Tis the season to save at Verizon. Just bring in your bill to your local Verizon store and we'll give you a better deal. Rankings based on Root Metric True Score report dated 1/8/2025. Your results may vary. Requires postpaid consumer mobile bill dated within the past 45 days and same name as person redeeming deal. Additional terms apply.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Now, time for Bold Face Lie, Bold Face Truth with Brendan Tierney and Sal Licata.
Oh, yeah.
BT Sal back on the Fan. Little Bold Face Truth, Bold Face Lie. Hoffy, what do you have for us?
All right. Let's go. Let's start with, let's do a little baseball because free agency is here. And Sal, let's go with you, okay?
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to just throw a little bit out there. Jeff Passan put out a list of 21 teams and 21 players where they're going to wind up. So this is why some of the players I'm going to give you right now, very specific on what, going off of what Jeff Passan thinks.
Okay.
All right, bald face lie, bald face truth, Sal Licata. Edwin Diaz will be back with the Mets in 2026.
Yeah, I think it's a bold-faced truth. I don't see that the Mets let him walk. Now, you could get into whether or not how much you would pay him. I would not pay a closer big money. I could understand that when you have an owner that is rich, what's the difference between $70 million and $100 million? Does it really matter over the course of another 5 years? So I would say a bold-faced truth, he's going to get paid and he will remain the New York Mets closer.
Yeah, I mean, I could really go either way here. I'm going to go bold-faced lie, though, because I think there's going to be a lot of teams knocking down his door, and rightfully so. I mean, he's still very, very good. I wouldn't give him 5 years. I wouldn't give any relief pitcher 5 years or even necessarily 4 at this point. But he's proven he can handle this market. That goes without saying. I just think that the Mets have so much other stuff to address. I mean, we talk about this all the time. I mean, really, 5 of their everyday positions, maybe even 6, are up for question, depending upon what Pete does. So I'm going to say that he's gone. I'm going to say somebody's going to knock his socks off, and Stearns will pivot probably smartly and move on from Devin Williams. Move on from Edwin Diaz.
Jeff Passan has him going to the Dodgers.
There you go. The Dodgers. Wow.
Well, they need a closer. God. They need a closer. If you count Roki Sasaki or Yamamoto as starters, Dodgers actually need a closer.
All right, ball face.
Does he have amount of years? I know sometimes they give the
I gotta be honest,
parameters.
I didn't look that far into it.
Sometimes those projections, though, whether it's Spotrac or whatever, they're way off.
Yes.
Way light.
Yes.
Anyway, go ahead, Off.
It just bothers me, the fact that, and again, you're not wrong, BT, the fact that the Mets have so many holes to fill, but now you're saying, let's go fill a first base hole.
Yeah, now they have another hole.
Let's get rid of Diaz, and now let's fix the closer's hole. No, I got you. I see it both ways.
Putting my head through a wall right now. Bald-faced lie, bald-faced truth. BT.
Yep.
Kyle Tucker and Cody Bellinger will be teammates in 2026.
I think that's a bold-faced lie. I don't think Bellinger's going to leave the Yankees, and I don't believe the Yankees will have the appetite to get him and Tucker, number one. They've got other stuff to do. And if Bellinger was to leave the Yankees, there's actually rumors of a Dodgers reunion. I know the Mets would like to talk to him as well, and they will. I don't think the Mets would get Bellinger and Tucker. So I think that there's a chance that, I don't know exactly where they're going to wind up. They will not be on the same team.
I'm going to say it's a bald-faced truth. They're both going to be Dodgers. Bellinger and Kyle Tucker. I mean, why not? Odds are they're going to get them. No, my truth is that I don't believe Bellinger's leaving the Yankees, although if the market starts to go up for Bellinger, are the Yanks going to have the appetite? Oh, and again, it's not going to be a Soto thing exactly, but we saw this a year ago. They can't lose Baldinger. I know they have other issues. Yankees can't lose Baldinger, and I think he wants to be here. I just think it's a perfect marriage. So ultimately, I don't believe it's going to change, but I do believe it's possible that they could both be teammates in LA.
Let me just present the worst-case scenario, which I don't think will happen. Let's say Tucker signs with the Dodgers. That could happen. Let's say Bellinger leaves the Yankees and Grisham stays. I mean, think about that.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, that's worst case for who?
Me.
Yeah. What did Passan say about this?
Passan has Bellinger staying with the Yankees, but Tucker going to the Blue Jays.
Oh, okay.
Wow,
okay.
Toronto.
Yes.
What about Bichette? Because I think Bichette's going to probably leave
I
here.
don't think he had Bichette on this list. Again, it was only 21 names.
He's one of the top 21
Yeah, he's
names.
probably
Bichette's
on the
not even
list.
close.
No,
No, he's got like trades and stuff like that, like Mackenzie Gore going to the Milwaukee Brewers.
Okay,
so
it's not just free agents.
Yeah,
Got
exactly.
It, got it.
All right, and finally, bald-faced lie, bald-faced truth. Okay, but bear with me here. The Rangers will finish the month of November with the same amount of wins as the Jets and Giants have combined at home.
All right, so that's
November.
4. Let's do the math here. It's
Yes,
a little,
they have
Any more caveats you want to? Both Jets and Giants wins at home?
They have 4 games remaining. The Rangers have 4 games remaining at home in November.
Okay.
They have 1 win right now, currently at home.
Right, so you're saying the Rangers could get to 5.
Yes.
And that total's got to be more than
4.
The current win total.
Current win total. That's the key there. Who's up first, by the way?
Salad.
I'm confused by this whole
I'm
man.
happy you're first. Pick something up.
Yeah, I don't understand it. No, I think
whatever you say, side co-side me.
I don't think the Jets. I don't think the Jets and Giants are going to win another
thing through this.
They're not going to win another game in November. The Jets or Giants
at home. They only have 1 more game at home.
Well, I don't think you're winning a game. Period.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to say
Jets
Rangers.
are winning Thursday.
I'm going to say that. Rangers will be fine at home now. The floodgates have been opened after last night's win over the Predator.
Yeah, I mean, forget about the Jets and the Giants and the Met or whatever. I don't think that I got to see a little more for the Rangers before I anoint them back here. I know they're very good on the road, so they obviously have it within them. They're still a little light in terms of scoring once you get past their top 4 scorers. So whatever the question was, I'll say bald-faced lie.
All right, there you do. That does it for bald-faced truth, bald-faced lie.
All right, here's one more just to fix that
I think
one.
we're done.
No. We'll go back to Jeff Passan. What free agent move will the New York Mets get? Well, how about this? Let me rephrase that. The Mets will get a starting pitcher this offseason.
Yeah, they're going to get Skubal in a trade.
Yeah, Skubal.
Yes.
They're going to get more. Skubal and a free agent. What does Passan say?
He's got Framber Valdez. Is that a star-studded pitcher?
He's up there, man. Him and McClain. That's a good move.
I wouldn't want him, but now that I wouldn't want him, he wouldn't be my first choice.
Yeah.
And I can't get over the fact that he crossed up his catcher on purpose.
Yeah, that's true. At least he's not gambling.
Great.
I mean, it's getting worse with these pitchers.
I'd rather have that is true. Right, it's the lesser of the 2 evils.
Yep.
I'd rather have Ranger Suarez. All right, let's get back to the calls here. 888-808-1019. Mike is in Pompton Plains, New Jersey. What's up, Mike?
Mike.
Oh, hey guys, how you doing?
What's up, buddy?
I have a little bit of a different spin on this whole GM Shane staying, Daboll going. So remember, it was about a week ago. Paul Schwartz had the article in the Post that must have been leaked to him that they were not tied together, right?
Yeah, 100% leaked. There's no day. You don't get access like that. Well, yeah, sure. Yeah.
Remember, it dates back to last year, but yes.
Right. So I think Mara detests the thought of having to hire another outside GM that's going to tell him in an interview, I want to redo this whole front office, and that means your brother and your nephew have to go. There are people in that organization still entrenched in the front office, and I think Mara wants no part of that. Shane was his first outside GM that was hired since, George Young came, when he was appointed by the league back in 78. So I think this has a big issue to do with it, especially with his illness.
Well,
if you take that into consideration too.
But I think that is the biggest thing. And thank you for the call, Mike. Good stuff. It's unfortunate. I actually am now feeling guilty, to be honest with you, about going nuts about it to start the show. I can only react to what we know. But since the Ian O'Connor report talking about that maybe it's not a guarantee that Shane is still with the Giants beyond, the season here. And maybe it's large in part because of the health of Mr. Mara is just not wanting to make that decision right now. Then you kind of do have to take the foot off the gas here. I know we could only react to what's happening right now, but it's irrelevant who the general manager is from now through the rest of the year.
Yeah, which is why I didn't need him to be fired with Daboll here. But think about health aside, the other thing that the caller just brought up is, there might be onto something there. And if that's the case, well, then Mr. Mara's going to have to look in the mirror and mix things up here. Because if there's people in that building, and let's face it, that's been the knock for too long, that have some juice and get to make some decisions that aren't necessarily football people that are from the families, well, that's a problem.
Right, but I don't think that that's the issue in this particular case. I don't believe. Mara already went out there and hired Shane from outside the organization. Remember, that was the knock 4 years ago, was that it's always from within. The Giants want to promote from within, which, by the way, is the healthiest thing to do for any company, promote from within. Get your people groomed, develop, whatever you want to say. So that's the right thing to do. It wasn't working repeatedly, so they had to go outside the organization. Fans were calling for it. They did go outside the organization. Then Mara also dismissed the idea of how much power some of the family members have. By the way, he's the owner. You're allowed to have some family members employed, and they can have some say. Now, if it continues to lead to losing, it's going to be on the decision makers to make sure they get it figured out one way or another. And obviously, that has not happened here with the Giants. But I don't believe that in this particular instance, Mr. Mara is sitting there saying, I don't want a general manager coming in telling me how to run my operation and fire family
members. Get rid of family members.
Yeah.
Well, then why was Woody getting crushed when his son was involved there? Right, the Giants are the Jets now. That goes into the evaluation. Like, the Giants don't earn, they don't receive the benefit of the doubt right now. So if we were going to get on Woody with the Madden ratings and his son having it, remember what Aaron Rodgers said?
Yes, but that was extreme.
Because it's the Jets?
No,
But if he had juice, if he had say in the room,
where are the reports of any Mara, pick a Mara, that is doing the nonsense that was going on with Woody and his son with the Madden ratings, going up to players and besmirching players to their face? He still did what he did it this year with Justin Fields.
I know there's nonsense, and I don't think that that's going on in the Giants building. But there's also influence or having say when maybe you're not necessarily equipped to have that say. So it might not be as circus-like as the Jets was with Woody's son, but it doesn't mean it's a healthy situation.
Agreed. I'm just saying that I don't think that that's the primary issue right now. I think health would be much more of a factor than that. All right, BT and Sal and the fan will come back. Get more of your calls, 888-808-1019.
It's Evan and Tiki. Afternoons on the Fan, 1019 FM.
Quote, we spoke about the direction of our franchise on the field, and we have decided that at this time, it is in our best interest to make a change at the head coaching position, President John Mara and Chairman Steve Tisch said in a joint statement.
Listen to Evan and Tiki on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Sunday no longer a fun day? We've got specialists for that. Walking the dog, unleash, knee pain? We've got specialists for that. With 45 Castle Connolly top doctors, Orland & Cohen specialists are considered among the best in the nation by their peers, which can mean a better outcome for you. From Staten Island to Southampton, our network is open 7 days a week, so you can feel better, faster. Visit OrlandCohen.com.
That's the sound of James adding long-lasting Gain scent boosters to his laundry this morning. Several hours later, James sniffs the irresistible scent of Gain on his shirt. Gain. Several hours later, James has even caught the attention of his mother-in-law, and she never gives him attention.
Ooh,
Ooh, you smell amazing, James.
Oh, thanks, Mom. I love you too.
I never said that.
Add Gain Scent Boosters to your laundry. Add joy to your day.
Nobody had to tell your grandparents not to drive while using their typewriters. Why should it be any different for us kids and our cell phones? Distracted driving was the cause of more than 3,000 deaths in 2022. Come on, we're smarter than this. Let's put down the phones and focus on the roads. Drive safe, everybody.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
The Hess truck's back and it's better than ever. Roaring engines this year. Hess race cars are here.
The Hess stock car racers are loaded with lights, sounds, and a powerful racing motor. Only at HessToyTruck.com. Free shipping and batteries included.
At the 5-yard line, handoff Brees Hall, finds a crease, runs left, he's into the end zone for a Jet touchdown. Jets fans, clear the runway and be at MetLife Stadium for Week 13 as your New York Jets take on the Atlanta Falcons. Sunday, November 30th at 1 p.m., presented by New Jersey Lottery. Join us as we celebrate First Responders Day. Don't miss your chance to be at the game. Lock in your seats now at nyjets.com/tickets. Once again, that's nyjets.com/tickets.
Dunkin's $6 meal deal is here for the holidays. Enjoy a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, 6-piece hash browns, and a medium hot or iced coffee, all for $6. It's got everything you need to keep your holiday season running. Get it now in Dunkin' stores or order ahead directly on the Dunkin' app. After all, the holidays run on Dunkin'. No substitutions. Participation times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
Want to turn up the heat and turn up the savings this winter? Go with Petro. Switch now and get $125 free heating oil with reliable delivery in any weather, flexible pricing plans, an easy budget plan, and live 24/7 service and support. Go with your local HVAC pros at Petro for best-in-class service and comfort you can count on. Use propane? Ask about special offers. Go to Petro.com now to get your $125 free heating oil or call 1-888-PETRO02 today. Propane not available in all areas.
Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Wake up with Boomer and Geo. Mornings 6 to 10 on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good afternoon at 12 o'clock. I'm Andrew Bogish. Your Sports Flash is sponsored by Chef IQ, precision cooking, effortless results, chefiq.com. And by Total Orthopedics, the experts at getting you back to being you. Total Orthopedics is Long Island's premier orthopedic practice. From simple sprains and broken bones to complex sports injuries, they're the experts at getting you back to being you. Total Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Visit TotalOrthoExpress.com today. Former Nick and Net Michael Ray Richardson has passed away at 70 years old after a brief battle with prostate cancer. Over 8 NBA seasons, Richardson made 4 All-Star games, 3 as a Knick, 1 for Jersey. He received a lifetime ban in 1986 for his 3rd drug policy violation, finishing his pro career in Europe.
Am I misremembering? That's sad. I just heard that for the first time. There was a documentary, Whatever Happened to Sugar Ray. I think that's something like that, like 10 years ago, about his drug battles and how he went overseas.
Right.
Now, I don't really remember watching him play. He was like right before I started watching the Knicks.
Yeah.
But what a talented player who just had a lot of demons. Rest in peace. He was a great basketball player.
And played for 16 years overseas.
Yeah.
Like into the
did.
2000s.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was called Whatever Happened to Michael Ray or Sugar Ray, I think.
Both local teams on the floor tonight. The Nets hosting the Raptors here on the Fan. The Knicks and Grizzlies both starting at 7:30. And lastly, from the NBA, the Mavericks are firing GM Nico Harrison 9 months after he was allowed to trade away Luka Doncic. Fan weather is sponsored by Ray Cattina Lexus of Freehold and Ray Cattina Lexus of Monmouth. Make your holidays memorable in a Lexus from Ray Cattina. The Lexus December to Remember sales event is here. Drive home luxury in a GX or TX with class-leading storage. Celebrate the season in style at Ray Cattina Lexus of Freehold and Ray Cattina Lexus of Monmouth. It is 39 degrees and cloudy in Central Park, and that's what's happening. Sports flashes, top of every hour. I'm Andrew Bogish.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
Brandon Tierney, Sal back on the fan. We are continuing the conversation the way that we started the show a couple hours ago about the decision to retain Joe Schoen and maybe even spinning it more forward. Now, since then, we've learned Ian O'Connor's report saying that just because the Giants' release yesterday read as if Schoen is going to be back and making the decisions, I mean, it literally said he's going to be leading the charge as far as finding the next head coach. But since that report from O'Connor saying it's not a given that Schoen will be back, and there's a lot going on with the health of Mr. Mara, so maybe BT, the way to spin it forward for us is either way, we know that somebody's going to be having to pick a new head coach. Well, which direction should they go in? And we haven't talked about Kafka at all. I heard the morning show talking about it a little bit. I mean, the idea to me that Kafka could do anything in these final 7 games to earn this job, that would just be insanity. I'm looking to go outside the organization, and I'm looking to hire a known, proven commodity.
I would too, but I think they really like him, and I think that they're really intrigued by what they look like with his direction front and center. So I do think he's got a small chance to get the job here. Not saying I would do that, but see, I think everybody's focused on the wrong thing. Everybody's kind of locked in, like they're pushing this 3 steps further than they need to start. Everybody's wondering who's going to get him Lombardi number 5. How about getting him back-to-back playoff appearances? Like that's really where my focus is. Like there's such an.
But you think Kafka could be that guy?
No, I wouldn't. Okay. I think that they internally view him as a potential star. Remember, he's had interviews around the league. He's well thought of. All right, so I think they want to see how he works with Dart whenever Jackson comes back and plays. I just think that they'll give him a small chance to be retained. I wouldn't necessarily do that. So. Like the step from where the Giants are to year-to-year relevancy is a big one. I'm not saying that you can't have sporadic geez, why can't I say that? Sporadic success.
Yeah.
God almighty, that wasn't coming out.
Not easy. It's okay.
No, it is easy. I don't know why I can do it. So, and you got that with Daboll. Like, you got that sporadic moment. You know what I mean? And that should tell you right away that's not the ultimate goal, because anybody could have a one-off here. It's what do you do to build the infrastructure and put the like you want with the Mets. 3, 4, 5 years in a row where you're vying for a World Series. You're winning 2 division titles. You're getting 2 wild cards. You're in the mix. So to me, I am, and I've used the term a lot, mitigating risk here. There are a lot of impressive young coordinators out there, sharp minds, innovative minds, college, assistants, coordinators, whatever. I'm not doing that. I'm looking at somebody who's already done it, and even if they don't have a Super Bowl or only one, and even if I didn't love the way their last job ended, that's the person I'm going to focus on.
Yeah, I just want somebody that's a proven commodity to a certain extent. And again, we need to see all the names that are out there. I don't mind evaluating what Kafka could do here. I just would want to, if I'm firing the head coach, Brian Daboll, I'm not going to have the guy under him. It's basically the same thing. What's the excuse for the defense, all that stuff? I want somebody that's going to overhaul the whole thing, me personally, and build a sustained winner. So I don't think it would be a first-time head coach for me. I'm not going in that direction. Doesn't mean that can't work. I would rather go down the proven commodity. We've talked about Gruden. We've talked about Bill Belichick. You've mentioned Kiffin before. I want to see the entire list of candidates. And by the way, maybe there's some. I saw the Post had something before about some possible potential candidates for the Giants here. Maybe there's a trade thing. You've mentioned this where we're talking about maybe Tomlin shakes loose. And I'm not sure that that's going to be the case, but how could we sit here definitively and say, well, I'd hire this guy or that guy without knowing the entirety of who's going to be available? Now, will they go through the process of making a trade? Are the Steelers really going to make Tomlin available? But we've heard about that stuff. Anyway, either way, I need to see the entire list, but I would definitively want somebody with experience before. Doesn't mean he'd have to be a Super Bowl champion or have the ultimate success, but somebody with head coaching experience before that can oversee a whole program, not just be an offensive coordinator to develop Jackson Dart.
Whomever it is, when he steps to the podium, he's got to project a conviction, not based on hope, but based on evidence, because he's already done it. I think that's the projection, the voice that you need whenever that introductory press conference is. Not like this guy could be good, more like, wow, this guy was good, and now he's the Giants head coach. That's what I want. I got some odds for you here.
Yeah.
John Gruden, 10-1. Jason Garrett, 12-1.
God, Jason Garrett.
Yeah, I'm not feeling that
Come
either, man.
on,
I'm
man.
not feeling the J.J. Garrett stuff.
I know this ties in with the organization. Come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, whatever
I'd rather
takes
Kafka than Jason Garrett.
I might too. Whatever it takes to get Garrett off of TV doing that stupid TikTok thing. Did you see? I mean, what are we doing? I mean, come on, man. God. Mike McCarthy, 12-1. Belichick is 16-1. And then you got some other names, whether it's Lane Kiffin, Cliff Kingsbury, Jesse Minter, Clint Kubiak, Joe Brady, Billy O'Brien came up on the show the other day, John Harbaugh, Mike McDaniel if he's fired, Steve Sarkisian wants back in the NFL, Brian Flores, Kafka, Matt Nagy, Mike LaFleur, Lincoln Riley. Those are just some of the names
I think
out
a lot
there.
of those guys could be appealing as far as building a staff. I don't know if I want many of them to be the head coach. BT and Sal on the Fan, our friends at Town Fair Tire. Remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Sam is in Parsippany. What's up, Sam?
Hey, guys. Longtime fan. 2 points. On the head coaching points that you guys just made for the Giants, I'm a diehard Giants fan my whole life. I definitely agree with you guys. I want somebody who's done it before. I was actually looking around, and it'll sound crazy now, but Kyle Shanahan, after this year, his contract only goes up. The next season, he'd be a lame duck, which is interesting. They let a guy like that kind of, go into a lame duck season. Obviously, I mean, it would be one of those. It would be shocking, the NFL, but I mean, the Eagles did it with Andy Reid, similar where they've successful for a decade, and it was just time for a change. So that him, I've heard there's been some rumors on KOC. I would absolutely love KOC with Dart if there is that there's a rift in between the Vikings organization, and then
KOC.
a guy Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah, can we call him Kevin O'Connell? How is anybody supposed to know? I've never heard that before. KOC.
Yeah, that's what the kids are calling it on Twitter.
Oh,
how would you say that, by the way? KOC.
What do you mean?
How would you, if you actually say it? How would you say it?
What are you talking
I don't
about?
know, I'm just asking. If you put how would you say it?
Yeah, Hop, can you stop BT here?
I'm just going to start dumping everybody.
Yeah, KOC. Did you know what he's talking about? No idea.
I did, but
Kevin O'Connell, and they're not going to let him go.
Like I said, that would be, another guy who I think would be really good, and it's going to be one of those that might come a little bit, with a little scrutiny just because of the things, how the things are playing out on his current team. But I like Kevin Stefanski. I mean, he's a 2-time Coach of the Year.
Oh my God!
I just think the Browns are. The Browns are a bad organization, but that's
so are the Giants.
Yeah,
did you watch the Browns Jets game on Sunday?
I did not. I was watching the Giants game.
Fair enough. And that's why you bring up Stefanski's name. If you watch that game, certainly the last drive of that game, you would never in a million years bring up Stefanski to be the head coach of your football team. Doesn't mean he knows how to coach, but I don't know if I've ever seen a worse defensive sequence from the Browns, whose head coach is Stefanski. They couldn't get the ball back because of 2 mind-numbingly idiotic penalties. So no thank you with Stefanski.
Yeah. Okay. And then my other point was on Joe Schoen. I don't think he's been perfect by any means, but I do think given where he got the team, which was cap-strapped, aging team, and devoid of talent, I mean, this is an attractive job now, specifically because of Dart, and I kind of give him 50-50 credit on Dart because I give most of the credit to Daboll. He really wanted him. By all accounts,
what has Joe Schoen done well? Just simplify it. Just tell me that. Why do you want to believe in Joe?
He fleeced the Panthers for Brian Burns.
Yeah, that was his buddy Dan Morgan. Okay, but still, go ahead.
Okay, he still fleeced them. The Evan Neal, he gets a lot of flack, and rightfully so. But tell me a GM that wouldn't have drafted Evan Neal.
No, that's not what I'm asking you.
There's other guys you could have drafted.
Yeah.
That doesn't work.
Somebody asked you to give me good things about Joe Schoen. You gave me one about getting Brian Burns, fleecing his buddy Dan Morgan. He took advantage of that. We all saw it on the Hard Knock stuff. And that's a good trade. Okay, we love that.
The Combine, right? Is that where they hooked on?
Yeah, I think so. They were having that conversation.
I mean, the one thing that I said, and I'll give Joe credit here. So, I mean, Daboll's banging the table. I want Dart, which is amazing. And, listen, if Dart goes on to be what we think he might be, then, Daboll's going to be remembered a little softer down the road when things eventually become really good for the Giants. But he wanted to take him third. Joe Schoen said, nope, we don't need to do that. We could take this guy third, Abdul Carter, and then I could find a way to trade back in and still get our guys. So, if he would have just jumped and just kind of flinched and like, you know what? Wow, you really love him that much? Let's take him third. Well, now it's a different financial commitment. You don't have Carter. So you got to give him some credit. But I feel like people are tripping over themselves, like they're trying to invent ways to make it seem like Joe Schoen's put the Giants on a course to be really good.
I'm a little confused. Do we not evaluate general managers anymore based on record? Is that not like everybody's trying to go into the weeds? Well, he did this. Well, he could have done that. The guy's been here for 4 years. I would hope that you could come up with a few moves that were good moves, like trading for Burns. Okay, that's one. You could come up with a few. Malik Neighbors. Anybody could have picked him. Are we not just simplifying and basing his job off of what the record is in 4 years? And I would even throw out the first year because he had nothing to do with that roster that first year that had success. That was old Gettleman's team. So what exactly has Joe Schoen's brilliant drafts produced? How many wins over the last 3 seasons? Just simplify it. Go on that. Now, if you are of the belief you don't want to evaluate a general manager based on record, okay, fair enough. Then you could come up with other stuff that you'd like. That he draft guys with potential that regress, whether it's Deonte Banks, Tyler Newman, whatever it may be. Certain guys there, certain guys that have been pretty good, certain guys that have been bust. You want to go over just that resume? Okay, fair enough. I'm going to go based off of all of it, specifically the horrific record that his teams that he have built have had.
Yeah, and by the way, when you get some extra points for identifying the right quarterback, Joe Schoen or anybody else, I'm not even talking about Joe, I'm just talking about just overall, grading GMs. All right, you get the right quarterback, you're going to get some extra points. But when you swing and colossally miss the way he did with Evan Neal, you're getting more points subtracted. It's not like he's an average player or he did a couple of good things and, they don't know if they're going to extend him to a second contract because he's not quite what they thought, but he was okay, but he's expendable. He's atrocious. I mean, he doesn't even suit up.
It was a insert any robot GM, and they would have selected Evan Neal. I want somebody that's a little bit of an independent thinker. That's not just going to go chalk or fall in line. And we've seen the way Joe Schoen operates thanks to Hard Knocks. And to me, it's not somebody that's in full control or command or with conviction. If I were leading something like that, would take everybody's opinion into account and then ultimately make my own decision while weighing some other's opinion, sure, but be definitive about it. And he's like, I think he puts too much sometimes on his staff. And he's the one that's going to be in the line of fire here. So I get it's a delicate balance. Hey, it's a tricky job. That's why you're getting paid millions of dollars to do it. But ultimately, you should be judged on your record, no? And his record's god-awful.
Mm-hmm. There's no doubt. And I'm just kind of going back to this 2022 draft. Listen, the Giants had to take an offensive lineman. There's no doubt. But the evaluation was obviously very, very off. And if you go a little bit further, like, hey, maybe some other general manager would have traded out of that spot and still found a way to get Tyler Smith for the Cowboys, who's a Pro Bowler, or Tyler Linderbaum, who's a great center for the Ravens, or, those are two Pro Bowl linemen that were drafted 20 spots behind Evan Neal.
That separates the good from the bad. Those are the type of things. And in that same draft, you drafted Kayvon Thibodeau with the 5th overall pick, and he hasn't lived up to the expectations.
No.
I'm not trying to pick on him again, but come on. Those are two. He had the 5th pick and the 7th pick. And nothing.
Man.
Come on, basically nothing with that.
Didn't we do that? That's the show we did together, right?
Yes.
That was the draft show. Who else was me, you, Keith,
Kim
Jones.
I think, was Evan there for a little bit?
I don't remember seeing Evan. I remember seeing Keith. I think there was all 4 of us.
was there.
Was Sean there? I don't remember seeing Sean either.
But he stopped by for a segment. I don't know if Evan was there, but yes, it was me, you, Kim. We were doing it at the Meadowlands Sports Book, right?
Yeah. And I remember you were pissed off because the Falcons took Drake London. That was the year they took Drake.
By the way, turned out to be a good pick. But
he's pretty good.
Yeah, I hated. See, at least you're getting some consistency. I hated that pick because I don't believe in drafting a skill position player that high when you had the other needs, similar to the way I felt with Malik Neighbors.
Yep. Now, that was a really good draft.
Jets took Garrett Wilson that year?
Yeah, Garrett Wilson. But think about it. So Aiden Hutchinson, he went second. Hutchinson, Derek Stingley, who was a great corner. Was Trayvon Walker, the DN from Georgia.
Okay.
Remember that? Okay, so he's yet to make a Pro Bowl, but Hutch, Stingley, Gardner more early than recently. Then it was Kayvon. Yeah, I mean, then you had Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, a couple of Jameson Williams for Detroit. He's been a little bit banged up, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember sitting there and like, hey, this is the transformational, like the moment where the Giants have 2 top 10s. The Jets have to get a corner, get linemen, and here we are. Basically, out there, everybody's a bust or they're gone.
Right, that was supposed to get us out of this hell, and yet here we are years later. Sports Talk on the Fan, presented by Paramount Plus. Streaming November 16th on Paramount Plus, it's The Return of Landman. From Taylor Sheridan, co-creator of Yellowstone, Academy Award winner Billy Bob Thornton is back, featuring Academy Award nominees Demi Moore, Andy Garcia, and Sam Elliott. Landman, new season streaming November 16th only on Paramount+. Pablo's in Dover, New Jersey. What's up, Pablo?
Hey, BT Sal, how's it going, guys?
How are you?
What's up, man?
Hanging in there, man. As a Giants fan, ticked off. I think, obviously, retaining Joe Schoen, you guys are spot on. The track record across all facets of roster building, whether it's free agency, the draft, trades, you name it, he fails. I will say one thing. I've read reports, I think Connor Hughes had one, where it said the Giants' job is going to be one of the most desired. I disagree, man. I don't see if I'm a number one candidate and there's 5 or 6 openings, that I want to come work for Joe Schoen, a GM who's 20 games under 500, who can't build a roster. We saw it last year. Jacksonville literally had to fire Trent Baalke because Liam Cohen withdrew last minute. So I see the same thing happening to the Giants. Why would I want to come in and work for a GM
because you think Jackson
Dort's
got a chance to be a superstar? That's the reason.
Yeah, and the bigger job come the end of the season, and that would mean that you just don't know. So you can't say it's not going to be an attractive job with Joe Schoen. We still don't. I would say that Joe Schoen's fate seemed determined yesterday. Today, that is not necessarily the case. So we should treat it as if Daboll's fired, and we don't know what's happening with Joe Schoen.
Let's leave the door open. Let's do that out of respect to everything with the Giants, with Mr. Mara, for sure. I like that approach. I'm with you. All right, so let's push this in a different direction, because I totally disagree. I think the Giants' job is going to be incredibly coveted. I think it's got great appeal. Now, the Titans already fired Callahan. You want to go coach Cam Ward? Be my guest. Okay, so there's 2 openings right now. Mike McDaniel. Now, maybe he's starting to save his job, but there's still a pretty good chance he'll get fired. You want to hitch your wagon to Tua? The answer is no. Jonathan Gannon, there's a good probability he's going to be out in Arizona. Who's their quarterback? Is it Brissett? Is it Kyler Murray? Do you like that situation? The answer is no. What about Kevin Stefanski? His name just came up. You want to go and coach Shedeur Sanders or this lefty, pus throwing Dylan Gay, whatever the hell his name is? You want to coach him? I don't think so.
If he's a pus thrower, what's Justin Fields?
Well, at least Justin's got some zip on the ball. Come on, he at least throws it like a big boy. This guy throws it like a 12-year-old.
Yeah, but he completes passes.
Like a shot put.
But he completes passes. Good God.
Yeah. I don't know how he threw that touchdown. That ball was up there for 10 minutes against the Jets. Either way. All right, so the Cincinnati Bengals. Taylor's been there for a while, Zach Taylor. Anybody would want to coach Joe Burrow. That's a given. But how long is it going to take to fix that defense? It's going to take a long time, especially since management and ownership is very cheap, so they won't spend a lot of free agent money. Do you want to coach the Falcons? Maybe. Is Raheem Morris going to be out? He could be. And then obviously, if Mike Tomlin leaves Pittsburgh, do you love their quarterback situation? Those are the very viable hot seat situations. To me, of all the very real situations, the Giants is the most attracted one.
I cannot say it's attractive at the moment. I need to see what happens over the course of the next few months.
Okay, but are the other jobs that I said, do you deem them more attractive?
Well, Cincinnati.
That's the one with Burrow. But again, that defense, so they give up 40 points to teams that can't score. They give up 40 to the Jets.
Cleveland, I would never. No, I understand that. But if you're a head coach, you go in there, you have Joe Burrow.
Unless Burrow says, get me out of here.
We're going based off of now. If he's not there, then obviously Cincinnati would not be on the list.
I just took you through 7 potential openings, and the 2 that are already there, the Giants and the Titans. The Titans' ownership is a mess. Cam Ward stinks.
That one I would want no part of.
No interest.
Think about it from a coach's perspective. The number one criteria for a head coach taking a job has to be ownership and stability within the organization.
And then what's number 2?
Well, then a quarterback.
Exactly.
Or the quarterback situation, whether you could draft your own, whether you have one in place. But that's why I would eliminate the Browns. I would eliminate the Titans. Those 2 ownership spots are just not good. So I understand the appeal. I'm just saying that there's a lot of unknown. If we don't know what's going to happen with the general manager right now, then I can't just definitively say, well, it's all about Jackson Dart. If the general manager's still here, then it's a little bit less appealing to me, regardless of the situation with the quarterback. BT and Sal on the fan. We'll have Brian Baldinger coming up in 20 minutes. We'll continue with your calls on the other side, 888-808-1019.
It's the Nets and Raptors, 7:30 tonight. The home of Brooklyn Nets basketball is The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
Nissan trucks and SUVs are built for next-level adventure. Too much gear? Dirt? Rock? Sand? Get in a Nissan truck or SUV and feel unstoppable. Whether you want to take your next level of adventure in the Frontier Dark Armor, the Pathfinder, the Armada, or the Rogue, you'll be ready for what comes your way. Nissan, #1 in new vehicle quality among mainstream brands by J.D. Power. Now get 0% APR financing for 60 months on the 2026 Nissan Rogue Platinum. Visit jdpower.com/awards for information based on 2025 model year 2026 Rogue from new dealer stock. 0 down payment, 60 months financing at $1,667 per month per thousand financed. Down payment may vary, subject to NMAC credit approval. Not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price. See dealer for details. Ends 12/1/25.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This holiday season, Target has your back with irresistibly cool gifts for everyone on your list. For the trendsetter, start with affordable beauty kits and gift sets. Need something the whole fam will love? Grab snuggly matching fits in every size and style. And for the thrill seekers, don't forget the hottest toys and tech of the season. Target's got you covered with the best deals for endless fun. Shop in store or online, and step into the holidays with Target. Restrictions apply.
I'm Colonel Callahan of the New Jersey State Police. If you're caught driving impaired, you'll face hefty fines, a suspended license, and maybe even jail time. Worse yet, you might cause a crash that could devastate someone's life. Be responsible. Don't drive impaired. We are all counting on you.
Oh, hey, welcome to gift wrapping. Whoa, Zoe Saldana.
Hey, can you wrap these, please?
Wow, iPhone 17s. You splurged.
At T-Mobile, you can get 4 iPhone 17s on them. It's the perfect gift for everyone.
I'm the worst. I only got my mom a robe.
Well, it's better than socks.
So, I have to trade in my old phone, right?
No, at T-Mobile, there's no trade-ins needed when you switch. Keep your old phone or give it as a gift.
Incredible.
In fact, wrap up my old phone, too, for my Aunt Rosa. Forget that. Aunt Liz will be jealous.
Sounds like my family. Drama.
Oh, I got it. I'll give it to my abuela. I'll take reindeer paper with, hey, where are you going?
To T-Mobile. Thanks, Zoe.
The holidays are better at T-Mobile. Get 4 iPhone 17s on us. No trade-in needed when you switch. Plus 4 lines for just $25 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 4 eligible board-ins on essentials for well-qualified customers. Auto pay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end in balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 256 gigabytes, $830 required. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're one of America's largest financial services companies. Like how I'm more than Saquon Barkley, the NFL's reigning leading rusher. I'm also the NFL's leading husher. Shh, hush up back there. Wow, I might have just set the hushing record. Well, almost. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Investment Services Corporation, member FINRA, Columbus, Ohio.
Hey, this is Tiki Barber. Those of us living in New Jersey got hit with a 20% electric rate increase. If your current heating system is over 15 years old, it's time for a new high-efficiency Carrier system. And there's only one company to call for a new one. My friends at Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's heating experts for over 38 years. Older heating systems waste gas. So get your system checked now and save money with Edison Heating and Cooling. Contact them now at EdisonHVAC.com. That's EdisonHVAC.com.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn app.
BT Sal back on the Fan, 888-808-1019, the number to call. Did you watch any Monday Night Football last night?
A little bit. I was in the car coming back out of St. John's NIL event. I listened to it for a little while. It was 0-0, as you know, deep into that game. There were a couple of offensive linemen that went out. I heard all that stuff in the car. Lane Johnson got hurt, then he came back. And then I did watch some when I got home, and then I fell asleep for a little bit here. Ugly stuff, though. Just an ugly, that's not an appealing game to me.
Yeah, I did not watch a second of it. You know why? Because I have YouTube TV, and I couldn't. And I am in line with YouTube TV here. I'm like, my buddy Jimmy Trainer was asking me about this. Oh, what's it going to take for you to go out of your way? Like, at what point do you draw the line and go somewhere else? I'm not going anywhere else. I'm done. I don't care. I'm tired. I'm drawing the line here. I don't care if I have to miss Monday Night Football. Screw it. It's not my fault anymore. I'm not chasing like these sucker consumers that we have been for so long, to the point where now it's gotten out of control with the amount of services that you have to have and the way that we watch TV. I like YouTube TV. I'm not going out of my way for the NFL, for Monday Night Football, for ESPN. I'm just not doing it. End of story. I'll figure it out. I'll watch highlights. I'll talk about a game. I can still do it. First of all, I don't have to unless it's a New York game. And I love the NFL more than anybody else. I'm just not doing it. What am I supposed to do? Uproot my whole cable system, get somebody else in, go buy another app? I'm not doing it. You got to draw the line somewhere. So if they don't figure it out, it is what it is. I'm not bending to their demands. It's absurd. It's disgusting. They're all pigs about it, and I've had enough of it. And it was a garbage game anyway. Your product stunk last night. I'm glad I didn't have that on my TV as an option to watch. You know what I watched instead? I watched Soulmates with my wife. You ever seen that show?
Soulmates.
Have you ever seen that show?
No.
Apparently it's old.
What is it?
It's kind of like Black Mirror. Do you watch Black Mirror?
Mm-mm.
If you watch Black Mirror?
I love Black Mirror.
Okay, so you'll like this show Soulmates. The idea of it, and it's a tricky show to watch with your wife. The idea of it is you go get some tests done.
Okay.
It takes place in the future. They read your eyes or whatever, they read you, they find your soulmate. You go get tested for your soulmate, and then you can see if there is a match out there. And it could say like your match has not been discovered, or you could have your match. And it's a show based off of that. And each episode is an individual episode.
Dude, how do you hear about all these shows?
I don't know. It just came up on Netflix, I think. My wife started watching it. I was like, I'll watch that with you. And then I got into it. It's actually good. I can't wait to go home tonight. I get the Knicks tonight. But I can't wait to go home and watch it. And, then it's one of those situations like, you better never do this. I'm like, it's a show.
It just starts getting on you?
Well, it does beg the question.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you had the option to go get tested for your true soulmate, would you do that?
I don't need to.
Because you found your soulmate.
Yep.
Huff, if you had the option to get, I should warn you. Remember last time you opened the mic and talked about your wife, you got in trouble. If you had the option to go test for a soulmate, even though you're married, would you do it?
Yes. And it would come back Nicole. Hopefully.
Because that's also your soulmate.
Yes, exactly.
And Dove, I already know what you're going to say. And I call BS on all three of you. I would be first in line.
Yeah.
Where is my soulmate? And if it turned out that my wife was in fact a match, I'd be like, see, I made the right decision.
What if she wasn't?
I got some thinking to do.
You got some papers to file. You got more than thinking to do.
First, I got to see what's on the other side.
Listen, I'm not saying it wouldn't be appealing to see what the other side of the curtain looks like. But that's what being young and single is all about. So I got married late, man.
Soulmate.
Not a batting practice.
Do you believe in that soulmate?
I do.
I don't believe in that myself.
Now, I also don't believe that anything's perfect, but I do. Right. I believe in that too. Yeah. I mean, I think if you have to, I mean, I guess you don't have to, but I always didn't, and then I did.
Let me ask you this. How many women in your life that you have dated have referred to you as soulmate?
None.
None ever?
No, just Jen. That's it. None. I'm sure they were thinking it, but they didn't tell me. Nah, I'm just kidding. No, I've never heard that once.
I mean, it's kind of a corny thing to say when you're younger.
When you're dating?
Maybe
come on.
Oh, you're my soulmate.
Yeah, no, that's how they say it too.
Yeah.
No,
okay.
I never heard that when I was dating, and I got married when I was 37, whatever it was. I met Jen when I was 35. I never heard that during the dating game, probably because I never let them hang around long enough to hear it.
I mean, we're soulmates now. We're married. Like, of course we're soulmates. Would you think this was fate? Like, it just... I met you, you met me, we fall in love. I like you, you like me. I don't think this was some, like, soulmate thing. I mean, come on.
Kind of like the Giants situation. Yeah. Maybe not exactly perfect. You'll have a head coach and a GM maybe not on the same page, but maybe it works out.
You see. Their record's a lot worse. Even as difficult as marriage can be sometimes.
You're not 2-8, are you?
No.
I hear you.
No, I'm not. Dennis is calling from Summit. What's up, Dennis?
Hey, guys. BT Sal, thanks for taking the call.
You got it.
Sal, listen, I love you to death. I love your passion. But, Sal, you got to stop with these recycled names. McCarthy. Just what the Giants need, right, Sal?
I don't want McCarthy.
No. Okay.
No, I like him.
does, yeah.
I like him.
You're throwing the name out, so we're going to talk about it.
Good.
So it's McCarthy, who went to a franchise where the owner's calling all the shots. We don't need another yes guy.
I don't want McCarthy, so we agree there, but go ahead.
Okay. Then on top of it, this is the one that really wrangles me and gets my shorts all kind of bunched up and tight.
Okay.
Sal, Belichick. Look at his record minus Tom Brady. It's .435 winning percentage, Sal.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else in the league would have been fired. We do not need Belichick.
Now you could say you don't want Belichick at this particular point in his career. You can't go to his record. He's one of the winningest head coaches in the history of the league. And
no, Sal. Why can't you go to his record, Sal?
Because I can. But his record is one of the best records in the history of the league. You can't say
with Tom Brady at the helm.
Okay,
we don't have Tom Brady.
What's Phil Jackson's record without Michael Jordan or Shaquille O'Neal?
Listen, I'm not.
And thank you for the call, Dennis. That is one of the dumbest arguments you could ever make. Ever. What's Andy Reid's record in Super Bowls without Patrick Mahomes? Like, are we going to go there now? I'll pick any great head coach, and I'll find you a great quarterback to go along with him. Come on now. I mean, it's ridiculous. Bill Belichick, who drafted and developed Tom Brady? Does Belichick not get credit for that? I hate that argument. You and I have had that argument plenty of times before.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
I think it is the dumbest thing ever. You can't take it away.
You can't take it away, but you can provide context here. What's Mike Tomlin without Big Ben? Not the same guy. Now, I don't know where it starts and where it ends, but I know that Andy Reid won a lot of games with Alex Smith. I think he only won 11 games.
He won a lot of games with Donovan McNabb, too. But guess what they called him? Oh, he can never win the big game. Never win the big game.
Understood. But, we're not talking about, we're not talking about Belichick getting to the precipice of winning a championship without Brady. When you talk about Belichick without Brady, you're talking about an unsuccessful coach.
How was Bill Parcells without Bill Belichick as his coordinator?
How was Bill Parcells? No, I mean, I'm not saying that you don't want to surround yourself with smart people. I'm not saying that at all. I do get it, though. Listen, if you don't have a great quarterback, you're not going to win a championship. But so to me, the measurement really is that next cut below it. Are you competitive? If you have a starting quarterback, and that's why I like Mike McCarthy. Now, I'm not saying he's a home run, but I do like his call was about McCarthy. That was me. And how do you do when Dak Prescott is out? As he missed a lot of games for him as a coach, and he kind of kept it afloat. I mean, Mike McCarthy won a lot of games for the Cowboys, 12, 3 years in a row. Look at the Cowboys now. They're an absolute train wreck. And Dak Prescott did not play all those games. He was hurt. He was laying on the turf with his ankle sideways, and they still found a way to punch through. So I think it's a good measurement. I don't think it's the ultimate measurement, but I put some stock in that. Absolutely.
Here's the list that I'd ask everybody to come up with. And by the way, you can make a good argument against Belichick. Even me, the biggest Belichick supporter, understands that it didn't go well at the end of New England, couldn't rebuild that thing back up, and obviously with North Carolina, all that's going on. Those are legit arguments. His record is the worst argument to make, because name the head coaches that have more wins in NFL history than Bill Belichick. There are two, exactly. Don Shula, George Halas. That's it. Two. In the entire history of football, there's only two head coaches that have more wins than Bill Belichick. So the record to me is not a good use of a knock against Bill Belichick. By the way, Andy Reid is fourth on that list with 278. A guy who I always loved, even though some people would look at Reid and say, well, he couldn't win get to the Super Bowl, couldn't win the Super Bowl, all those NFC championship losses, couldn't win the big game. Okay, he was a great coach, had sustained success for a long time. It was proven. Look at what the Chiefs did then, hiring him. You'd kill to have a guy like Andy Reid right now.
There's no question. And by the way, McNabb was good. McNabb's not at all-time great, so there were some limitations with Donovan McNabb as a quarterback out there in Philly. Listen,
the fact that you could take him to a Super Bowl is ridiculous.
Yeah, I've always. It's funny. I kind of side on the same side with that. Like, to me, I tended to prop up all the NFC championship appearances more so than failing to win the championship. So, see, the Belichick thing, though, is very interesting. All right, so the record without Brady is undeniable. I don't really focus on that as much, although, I just gave you my opinions on that, which are a little counted for yours. I look at it as when Bill Belichick is tasked with the ultimate authority of building a staff and or drafting. he's not good.
Different argument.
No, I know. But that's like what I focus on. Like if the Giants brought him in and they give him carte blanche and full autonomy, that's not what I'm looking to do. I want Belichick to coach, not to draft.
Correct. You can't just say, well, I don't want, there's the caller before. Well, I don't want Mike McCarthy because he's been there, done that. Okay, fair enough. I actually agree with McCarthy, although I think he's better than some other options. Well, I don't want Belichick because what's his record without Tom Brady? I mean, but that changes the entire history of everything. So you can't, that's a stupid argument. And then I would counter, well, who do you want? If you don't like the winningest head coach or one of the winningest head coaches in the history of the sport who identified and drafted and then went to that quarterback to help win him his first Super Bowl, if you don't want him, who do you want? Who are you going to sell me on? Who's better than that? What are the other options? You don't want McCarthy. You don't want Belichick. Who do you want?
I was curious who he was. We got the answer. I was very curious of that as well. Like, if he would have said Tomlin, well, then he could reach for what I just said. Mike Tomlin, I've got great respect. I love him to coach the Giants. Hell, I want him to coach the Jets. But Mike Tomlin without Big Ben, I mean, what's he doing? So I really was curious what answer, because if he gave us an unproven coordinator, then to me, that's laughable. So you're gonna downgrade a Belichick or a McCarthy or a Reed or whomever, but you're going to elevate somebody who hasn't done it at all? Makes no sense to me.
And by the way, there are multiple ways to win. I could be wrong. You could be right. It doesn't matter. The same thing with Pete Carroll. I wanted Pete Carroll for the Jets. Doesn't mean there's a right or wrong here. Maybe
I get it. I always look at it this way, and my answer would not be Bill Belichick. I want your answer. Now it's such a leap of faith because there's so many assumptions you have to make baked into to get to the answer. But if I said, all right, Sal, Team X, same exact roster. Team Y, same exact roster. Whatever decade it is, whatever the rules are, whatever the stuff is, who do you want coaching? I've always said Parcells. I've got one game to win. I want Bill Parcells.
I know, but...
And I want him over Belichick.
But what does it have to do with this conversation?
No, nothing. Because, I
thought you were going to give me like Belichick or McCarthy.
No. I say that because I don't get wrapped up in the sheer total volume of wins.
Understood.
That's why I bring it up.
Understood.
You know
BT Sal on the Fan will come back. We'll have Brian Baldinger on the other side, get his insight to all things NFL.
On this Veterans Day, WFAN salutes all the men and women who have responded to the call to serve our nation. We thank you for your dedication to duty, your sacrifice, and your willingness to defend our freedom. From your friends at the Fan, we honor your service today and always.
This is Maggie Bills, but all anyone's talking about is Coach Mike McDaniel reportedly stopping at a Fort Lauderdale bar full of Bills fans to gloat. While some might call it playful, to me it's unprofessional. Flashing a win in front of the other team's supporters instead of showing respect for the opponent is just another example of the bizarre behavior from the Dolphins coach. I'm Maggie Gray.
Not available in all states. Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary. Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program may only have to pay back a mere fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it could end your debt nightmare and save you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. For free information and to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, simply go online and visit DRA.com or call 800-474-1811. 800-474-1811. That's 800-474-1811.
Stars rise, legends are made, and one player rules them all. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, brings you King of the Court every Tuesday. Here's the deal. DraftKings puts up $1 million in bonus bets each week. Opt in, apply your token, and place a $5 pregame bet on the NBA star you think will dominate each Tuesday. If they finish the night leading the league in points, rebounds, and assists, they're crowned King of the Court, and you win your share. Download DraftKings Sportsbook and use code WFAN for your shot at a share of $1 million in bonus bets with code WFAN. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. 21 and over. New York only. Eligibility restrictions apply. One token per customer that expires at the start of the final NBA game when offered. Winning shared as $1 million offers and non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
Tune into the BT and Sal Show weekdays from 10 to 2 on the Fan. Presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac is the official luxury vehicle of the New York Giants.
You think you understand how this business works, but you don't.
Landman, TV's biggest phenomenon, returns to Paramount Plus. From Taylor Sheridan, co-creator of Yellowstone, starring Billy Bob Thornton.
You have to know the rules of the game and bend them. And you really have to know them to break them.
Demi Moore.
I want success. Get it for me.
Andy Garcia, Ali Larter, and Sam Elliott.
You don't even know the game you're playing, do you?
Landman, new season, streaming November 16th, only on Paramount Plus.
Hey, it's Brian Baldinger. At the Home Depot, Makita tools are built for the pros who show up early, who don't do shortcuts, only precise cuts, who know the job's only done when it's done right. With tools built to last, job after job, year after year, performance that pays off. When the job calls for the best, call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot. How pros get more done.
Beware the holiday buffering.
Who are you?
The ghost of internet past here to slow down right when your guests arrive.
Not this year. We got Verizon's 100% fiber optic home internet. Scored a limited time offer for $20 a month and locked in the price for 3 years.
Fios home internet, that's scary fast.
Now we can all stream, video chat, and game at the same time. So bye.
Call 1-833-VERIZON to switch to Fios Home Internet today. Fios 300 megabits per second plan at $20 a month with autopay. Any Verizon mobile phone plan and bonus discount. Price guarantee applies to base month rate only for my home customers. Terms apply.
Hey everyone, Boomer here. If you care about cooking meat to perfection, you gotta listen up. The IQ Sense Smart Meat Thermometer from Chef IQ is unbelievable. It wirelessly monitors your food's internal temperature in real time and then pairs with the Chef IQ app to tell you when it's time to flip, rest, and serve. There's no guesswork, just perfect USDA safe temps every single time. It even connects to the new Chef IQ mini oven for hands-off cooking, so why not grab yours today at chefiq.com and use code word Boomer to save 20% off at checkout.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
BT Sal back on the Fan. We're joined by Odyssey NFL insider Brian Baldinger, host of the Best Football Show podcast. Insider Calls brought to you by Nationwide. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side. Obviously, Baldy, the firing of Brian Daboll, we'll get to that in just a second. I do want to start, though, with the play of Jackson Dart and him getting hurt. Do you think that any of that is on the head coach, Brian Daboll, the play calling, the way they've used Jackson Dart since he's taken over as starter?
No question. There's no question about it. I mean, first of all, they had a play in the first half where they put Baldinger on Montez Sweat, the only decent pass rusher the Bears have. He collapsed the pocket. He's on the middle of the C, in the middle of Soldier Field with his helmet off, holding his head. After everything that's happened to him, I thought Taylor Bethune put him to sleep last week on a run up the middle. And then that run on 2nd and 6 in the third quarter with 5:15 to go, up 20-10. And that's when, the ball got stripped out of his hands by Chauncey Gardner-Johnson.
Yep.
Like, why is he running? Why are they running a read option? Why not Tyrone Tracy, Devin Singletary? Why is he running it? Like, he's a great runner, I get it. But they did the same thing with Daniel Jones, and they ruined him physically. They did the exact same thing. Like, I do think that's a part of it right here.
Yeah. Well, I think maybe even more damning here is that he was clearly concussed, and he goes back out to play football, and then they pull him after he threw a pass in a couple of plays. So where's the checkpoints? Where's the culpability? What happened there?
I don't know. They have independent, people, doctors that are in charge of that. Independent because they don't want the team to do what we saw Brian Daboll do, go into the tent after him. That's why he was fined so heavily.
Yeah.
This is because players, they can't protect themselves. They're just the competitive juices flow, and Jackson Dart, other players too. You need somebody that's not involved making those decisions so that we don't get these head injuries the way that we see them. And that's why all these protocols are in place.
Yeah, no question. All right, so Baldy, let's push this forward here. All right, we spent a lot of time today talking about, obviously, Daboll yesterday and Schoen today. And it's, listen, maybe Schoen's back. The way it was worded kind of caught us off guard, whatever. but you really know the league and you know the health of most of these buildings here. When you compare the Giants, their ownership at this point, the way they're run, the amount of true football people in the building, how does it stack up with some of the other teams in the NFL?
Well, I mean, the record speaks for itself. I mean, it doesn't stack up. It doesn't stack up with what the Rams have done under McVay and Les Snead. It doesn't stack up with the way Seattle just made certain moves to get competitive again. It doesn't stack up with what goes on 90 miles south of them in Philadelphia. It doesn't stack up. They're not built for the long term. I mean, the Eagles make one move after another. If they make a mistake, they basically sweep, like Bryce Huff. They signed him to a $51 million deal. It didn't work out. Here's Jalen Phillips. He's the best player on the field last night. They reward their players with, handsomely. Lane Johnson, Jordan Mailata, Jalen Hurts. When their players perform, they don't go looking for somebody else. They, like Saquon, like they get a good player in. They make sure that player is a part of, the nest for a long time. It doesn't stack up with what's going on in this league.
You think it's an attractive job for the next head coach?
Well, I think it can be. It can be. There's a lot of pieces in place. We've seen, immediate turnarounds in Indianapolis. They got the right quarterback. They got, they've got a star running back. They're very competitive right now. Things can turn around in a hurry in this league. We've seen that. Turned around in Seattle in 2 years. They got the right guy there. They're knocking on the door to win the division. It happens all the time if you get the right guys making the right decisions.
Baldy, if the Giants called you and they said, all right, help us out here. You're a local guy, need a little direction. Give us a list of 3 people where experience and temperament, things that you think would play in New York. Who would you put on that list for the Giants to really go after aggressively as head coach?
Well, that guy that they showed in the booth last night in Green Bay, Jeff Heffley, he's been in this league, coached in this league. He's been a head coach at Boston College. Kind of reminds you of the other guy that came from Boston College that won a couple Super Bowls here. His defense is fantastic. They led the league, or second in the league in takeaways a year ago. He's got a real blueprint for how to play. Xavier McKinney leaves the Giants. He's an all-pro free safety with Green Bay. That would be a guy. I would talk to Spags. I don't know how Spags keeps getting overlooked, but every year his defense helps them get to a Super Bowl again. Those are guys that, I would be interested in talking to.
But Baldy, with all due respect, and listen, you know much more than I do, but I mean, it's time to get somebody who's done the job. I cannot run the risk of a guy being overwhelmed and then just 5 years from now, the Giants still being a train wreck. There's no way.
Well, then you just go look at the Sean McVay tree. Because there's 5 head coaches in this league right now, including Matt LaFleur. But, in Jacksonville, they're all out of Sean McVay's tree. He trains coaches the way Andy Reid trained coaches. A lot of these guys, first-time guys, are having a lot of success right now. You go to Baltimore and look at what Mike McDonald's doing. You go to some winning franchises that have turned out head coaches. And, there's a proven track record with young guys. But, does Matt Nagy float your boat?
No.
Okay, there we go. But Matt Nagy. Mike McCarthy, I would move on from that.
You would, huh?
Yeah, he doesn't float my boat.
The Dallas gave him 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, he won 12 games every year.
Huh?
He won 12 games every year. Look at Dallas now without him.
Yeah, well, they've made a lot of bad business decisions too. It's just a poorly constructed team right now. That's not really, anybody's fault but, the front office.
Insider Call is brought to you by Nationwide. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side. I want to get back to the Jackson Dart aspect of this, Baldy. So what do you think a new head coach is supposed to do with him? If his greatest ability so far is the read option and running, which obviously you don't want to take that all away because it's going to be successful, how would you suggest coaching Jackson Dart to maximize what he could do on the football field?
Well, the guy plays the game fearless, not just because of the way he runs. Though his throws are fearless throws. He knows what he's looking at. He's got a very clear picture. To me, if they were building this thing the right way, there's no reason to me that Jackson Dart can't be what we're looking at in Drake May. I just saw Drake May this past week in Tampa. That kid, now he does run and he does scramble. Not the way Jackson Dart does, not as often. But they don't have plays in him for him to run. They hand it off to Travion Henderson or Ramondre Stevenson, but he's not They don't have designed runs for him. Like, that's just, you're already going to get hit enough, And so I think physically they're very similar. I think the mentality is very, very similar. And the difference is the head coach in New England and the offensive coordinator that holds every single person in that building accountable every day and coaches them hard. I was talking to Drake on Sunday about it, what the week is like and the demands that are put on players. That's where it's got to start right now. These guys, the offsides, the hold, when they're up 20-10 by the offensive line, like, you can't just walk off the field when Runyon and Schlotman are backing you guys up when you got a chance to put that game on ice in Chicago on Sunday.
Baldy, we were talking about the possible head coaching candidates. A guy I've always loved has been Josh McDaniels. I know he's failed a couple of different times. Any chance you'd give him a look here if you're the Giants?
I don't know. He's had 2 opportunities, and he hasn't been good in either one. I don't know a third opportunity is going to be any better. He is a great play caller. He works excellent with quarterbacks. There's no question. There would be I believe that Jackson would improve, but I don't, you haven't seen the team respond to him around the quarterback in the offense.
Yeah, true. If you believe in maturity, then maybe you're a proponent of at least having a conversation with Lane Kiffin. And that gets you excited or no?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It does.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think, Lane is in demand everywhere. I just did a Texas Tech game, a BYU game, and his name is mentioned at LSU, Florida, every spot right now. But he's coaching the NFL. His dad coached in the NFL. Like, he's got NFL pedigree.
Yep.
He coached Jackson Dart for 3 years. He got Jackson Dart basically drafted in the first round. He can coach. He's got a good offense. His concepts work. Yes, I would talk to Lane. It might cost a lot of money, but it could work.
Yeah, I mean, the Giants have money. I mean, if they don't want to spend money, then just keep taking shortcuts, and in 5 years we'll just reset and have the same conversation. I mean, money. Nobody wants to hear about the money. I mean, I know you're not saying that they wouldn't spend it.
No, you're right. They should.
Come on.
You're in the game to win.
Yes.
Like, money shouldn't have any, especially for the head coach and his coaching staff that he wants. Now, can he get a GM, that can build the team in his eyes the way he wants the team built? And is Joe that guy? I don't know. But, yes, I would absolutely talk to Lane, and money, the check and how much it costs to get him, or any coach that you really want to be the difference maker. It shouldn't be a factor.
What about, sorry, BT. What about Belichick, Baldy? We've talked about him. I know how big of a fan you are of Belichick. You think the game has passed him by, or would you take a look at him for this opening?
Well, if he could get Josh McDaniels to run the offense for him, I would be interested.
Oh, maybe Patricia for defense as well. You could have Belichick head coach, McDaniels, and then potentially Patricia?
Yeah, I mean, I would be interested in that. I don't think that Bill at this time should be the general manager the way he was in New England.
I agree.
It did not work out good.
He's not good at that.
He did not pick good players. They missed on a lot of picks. And if he's in charge, and he's in charge of the draft, you can't. I don't know that any coach can do it anymore like that. It's just too hard. Vrabel's got Elliott Wolf up there right now. They've done a great job in the draft, great job in free agency. I'm sure Vrabel had to sign off on a lot of this stuff. He's hands-on. But, I mean, that's really that's the franchise that you got to look at right now that's doing it the right way. But, yes, I would be interested in Bill if he said, get me a general manager that can come in here and build this team the right way with with spending the right money and drafting the right players and all of that.
A lot of we just reached for these names, and we've given you some new ones, so it's not like we're just lazily picking names out. But the Gruden name comes with a lot of energy and a lot of intrigue. Is there enough substance there with Gruden at this point for you to have a serious conversation?
Well, I mean, I like John and I respect John, but honestly, he was not good with the Raiders. Now, maybe Mike Mayock was his general manager, but they didn't turn things around with the Raiders there. He won a Super Bowl with Tony Dungy's team. And look, he got it done. He made it happen. And Monty Kiffin, they did a great job winning there. But I wouldn't say that, his time out of football to go to the Raiders, that he was making a big difference at that point. Like, I know he's studying his film, and I know he's looking at all the new trends and all the things that have changed in his game, which is immense since he won a championship. But, I would be interested in talking to him and picking his brain about things. And if he at least having the conversation.
Hey, Baldy, real fast. Listen, some of these wins are ugly, whether it's 39-38 or, pretty gross this past week against the Browns. But you seen any signs that Aaron Glenn is starting to stabilize things and maybe kind of getting a little rhythm as the coach first year or what?
Well, I mean, I do. I see fewer penalties.
Yep.
They're not beating themselves. Look, Cleveland's a great defense, and they struggled for almost 3 full quarters. But they did kind of like Brees, pop that screen. He popped a run. The offensive line kind of did good at the end of that third quarter into the fourth quarter. And they played keep away and they scored. And so, the special teams lost that game against Pittsburgh week 1. They've made a change there. They've got the right guy in there. So I feel like piece by piece, we're starting to see a little bit of a turnaround. They're buying it. You can see the celebration. It's their second win. It's against Cleveland. But to see the guys celebrating in the end zone gave me hope that they're on the right track. And let Moogie take these picks. And let's see what he can do with them. I think the trades were really good. The assets are good. The money is there. Let's see what they can do with it. Because I do feel like they should try to win every single game. Every game is important. This game on Thursday night against the Patriots is a measuring stick. It might be a blowout. The Patriots are really good. But I like to see how they compete Thursday.
Thank you, Baldy. We appreciate your time as always.
Thanks, buddy.
Okay, my pleasure, guys. Yep.
Okay.
That was Odyssey NFL insider Brian Baldinger, host of the Best Football Show podcast. Insider Calls brought to you by Nationwide. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side. More of your calls when we come back. 888-808-1019. BT and Sal on the Fan.
It's Boomer and Gio. Mornings on the Fan. 1019 FM.
It looked like it was one of those old throwback games with throwback giant uniforms against the Bears in the snow. It was actually a great watch until the fourth quarter, of course.
Listen to Boomer and Gio on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This holiday season, find excellence in every detail in a new Volvo from Volvo Cars Ramsey. Now find excellent offers with your first lease payment waived. Lease a new 2026 Volvo XC40 B5 plus all-wheel drive sedan, $438 per month for 36 months at Volvo Cars Ramsey, where it's all about you. Call 833-853-2975 for lease details. MSRP $5150. VIN T2670897. Loaner vehicle, 5,084 miles, $3,700 down payment, tax title registration extra, 0 security deposit, ends 11/30/25.
New Jersey might be small, but there's a lot of wow packed into this little state. We got your down at the beach wows, your top of the mountain wows, your show-stopping wows, your cork-popping wows. New Jersey, it's one wow after another after another. Find your wow at visitnj.org. New Jersey, little state, lot of wow.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Out here in the middle of these acres, it can feel like you're the only person on Earth. That's how it feels when you're struggling with your mental health. But you don't have to feel alone. Find more information at loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-4094. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-4094. That's 800-575-4094. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Get the latest on the Giants and Jets on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good afternoon at 101. I'm Andrew Bogish. This Sports Flash is sponsored by Chef IQ. Precision cooking, effortless results. ChefIQ.com. And by Approved Oil. Visit freezetherate.com. Approved Oil has been the leading heating oil dealer with the lowest rates in New York for over 90 years. Lock in today before the cold winter drives prices up. Act now and don't get left out in the cold. Enjoy a worry-free winter with Approved Oil. Visit them at freezetherate.com. Trading Luka Doncic last February never made sense. The Mavericks said they had a process. They then locked in on the top pick in the draft and Cooper Flag, but they're 3-8 to start this new season, and fans still hate the trade. So GM Nico Harrison was fired this morning. Owner Patrick Dumont sending an open letter to fans saying, in part, quote, "I understand the profound impact these difficult last several months have had." Nets basketball is on the Fan tonight. The Raptors in Brooklyn. The Knicks host the Grizzlies. Both those games tipping at 7:30. Former Knick and Net Michael Ray Richardson has passed away at 70. He was diagnosed with prostate cancer recently. Richardson made 4 All-Star games in 8 NBA seasons before getting a lifetime ban in 86 for his 3rd drug violation. Fan weather is sponsored by Total Orthopedics, the experts at getting you back to being you. Total Orthopedics is Long Island's premier orthopedic practice, from simple sprains and broken bones to complex sports injuries. They're the experts at getting you back to being you. Total Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Visit TotalOrthoExpress.com today. It's 37 degrees, maybe some flurries in Central Park, and that's what's happening. Sports Flashes, top of every hour. I'm Andrew Bogish.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
BT Sal on the Fan, presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Football Giants. That has been the theme the past 2 days. Of course, the Giants firing Brian Daboll, and then in a press release yesterday, insinuating that Joe Schoen, saying that Joe Schoen is going to lead the search for a new head coach. We then get a report today, after obviously reacting to that news. How could they possibly keep Joe Schoen? Then we get a report from Ian O'Connor saying that it's not a given that Joe Schoen's going to be retained. Just for now, he is. And obviously, Mr. Mara's health has a big reason or big impact on what's going on there with the decision-making and maybe the timeline on things. So the way that we would do it, BT, is just kind of ignore the fact that the same way that it would be if it were just Daboll being fired. I also think, by the way, they should have fired Daboll and Shane Bowen. That's what we were saying before. All right, you want to keep Shane for now. Who cares as long as he eventually goes? If the press release yesterday didn't read as if Shane was staying on long-term based on merit, then I don't think people would have had an issue. We would have just assumed that it was going to be over when the season ended.
Yeah, and I look at these, and I remember saying this a couple hours ago, like the Giants really had 4 options. They could have fired both. They could have kept both. They could have kept Daboll, fire Shane, which was not really going to happen. Or they could have fired Daboll, and they could have kept Shane. We know what they did. Now maybe there's a different context as to why they did what they did.
For now,
that's where I'm going. I mean, listen, there's a lot of work that goes into this, and I can't stress this enough. And if they don't have the appetite to deal with this right now, and they punt it down the road, and they give themselves a month or two of breathing room where they don't have to reassemble the staff of scouts who are 90% deep into their scouting, I would imagine, and all the draft work that they've already done as a group. Like, it's not just, I know it seems like a simple fix, fire the head coach, fire the GM. It entails so much, and they're just not ready to do it. I mean, I hope that they are, and I say this with respect, of course, but I mean, I hope that they are when it's ultimately time to make the decision, because I don't think that Joe Schoen is it. But, yeah, there seems to be a couple of different forces at play here.
One other thing, we know the Jets play Thursday. We haven't heard anything from the Giants outside of that release. We don't know what the deal is with Jackson Dart, right?
No, we don't know yet.
Okay, so if
he's not playing,
I wouldn't think so. But then, I mean, the games become even, I don't care who's coaching the game, Kafka, whoever, it could be anybody else. If he's not playing, why are we watching at this point? We all know. And then you can make the argument, I'm not a believer in tanking, although in this particular case, I don't see what benefit there could possibly be for the Giants winning games. We don't know if the general manager is going to be back. We know there's no head coach for Kafka himself, yeah, he's going to want to win some football games. But if it's not Jackson Dart, if Dart were playing, different story. Without Jackson Dart, I almost think the Giants are just better off losing.
Yeah, I mean, if they didn't have Jackson Dart, and I'm not even here with the Jets, which I usually am. Like the Jets obviously need a quarterback. You know, I love Mendoza
but that's
from
a
Indiana.
different story. They're building something here.
True, but so are the Giants. They're trying to.
What?
They're trying to learn how to win. They're trying to learn. They have no idea how to win.
They've already failed at that. They're not building. This is year 4. The new head coach coming in, and again, if Dart is hurt.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Because they've got their quarterback. Now, does he stay healthy for 10 years? Hopefully he doesn't, and beyond that. But at some point, you've got to take a leap of faith and say that, all right, I can't factor in injuries. I just have to assume based on the talent that they've got their quarterback, at least for now. And while they have failed woefully, you're right, in their ability to find a winning culture, it doesn't mean that Kafka's not going to try to, dial into that and change the tone in the building here. Like, that's really his biggest task here. And, I'm with you on this. If there's no Jackson Dart, I really don't want to watch Russell Wilson at all. And I would go to Jameis.
Yeah.
I've said that, but at least if it's James, it'll be fun and, whatever. Maybe you see some things. I don't know. But if the defense gets its act together and when Dart comes back and plays, the Giants are going to probably win a couple of games at the end of the year, probably. And I think that is more beneficial than not. I get the tanking aspect, or I get the focus on bigger stuff, but for collectively, from a morale point of view, they got to crank out some wins here, man. I'm not saying that they will, but you got to certainly try to do it.
If you had a head coach in place, sure. I don't think that the morale already at this point is toast. It's over. This season is over. At least with the Jets, they're building towards something in year 1. Now, I'm not saying I would tank. I'm just saying I think the Giants would benefit from losing, especially with Jackson Dart out. Also, to me, the main priority would be keeping Dart healthy. I don't care how many games they win with Mike Kafka. I don't want Kafka back. So what's the difference? I prioritize keeping everybody else's shot. Scadaboo's out. Neighbors is out.
Yeah.
I prioritize keeping Jackson Dart healthy and fresh, and then it's going to be about who the next head coach is going to be. Why not be in a better spot with a better pick, whether you could trade it or not? Try to set the organization up. Again, I am not an advocate of tanking ever. I'm just saying in this particular circumstance, I don't think winning does the Giants any good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't agree. I think it would change that could change your overall health, but of just the mindset of the building. And maybe it doesn't. I mean, there's been a lot of teams that win some games at the end of a year. You're like, oh, here we go. And then it doesn't equate to success the next year. But I think the more important question at this point is, okay, so Dart is not going to be, I'd be stunned if he's cleared. He's going to be in concussion protocol. He's not playing this week. If he is cleared the next week, you play him?
Yeah, I mean, if he's fully healthy, 100% ready to go, he's a young player. You got to. I also would play him a little bit more conservatively. You heard Baldy talk about it. And I kept calling it the RPO. It is not the RPO. The read option. Is what's getting him in trouble.
Yep.
That's what you just can't have.
That's not an option to pass. That's him keeping the ball and it's running.
Correct. He's either going to hand it off or run himself, which he's going to do. He's going to take it himself because that's just who he is. So I would 1,000% limit the read options, and that's just something that any head coach has to do moving forward. The Giants have been abusing Jackson Dart, not using his skill set. I don't know if the Drake May, now Baldy brought up that comp. I mean, that's a dream comp right there. I need to see more of Jackson Dart throwing the football to go with that type of comp, but that's the way to have sustained success. So maybe Kafka could use him in a different manner.
Yeah.
I don't know if he can. Then you talk about a head coach trying to make this is his opportunity, Kafka, so you want to also score points and win.
Yeah.
What's the one way the Giants are going to score points? It's with Jackson Dart running the football.
Yeah, that's really the only way that they could do it. So here's the thing, though. So I do like Lane Kiffin. Baldy was very enthusiastic when I brought up Lane Kiffin's name. How do you think Lane Kiffin used him at Ole Miss? The same way that Brian Daboll was using him here.
I know, but college is so different. Speed, physicality.
I know, but would Lane Kiffin be different? I know it's more ferocious on Sunday than on Saturdays.
He'd have to be.
We sure he would. Think about how we deployed him a year ago. The last couple of years, he got hurt a lot at Ole Miss.
You know who I know would be different? John Gruden, because we heard him say it in the clip. John Gruden said this before any of this became a reality. Exactly what Gruden said. We played the clip the other day.
Yeah.
You know, when he was talking about Jackson Dart before he got drafted, saying, I don't want to be in the tent looking at where's my quarterback because you're going to get hurt. And that's exactly what happened with Brian Daboll. I mean, it was predictable from John Gruden's aspect, so Gruden wouldn't.
It goes out the window. Now, it went out the window for Daboll, and that's partly why he lost his job. I'm just not as convinced that and I like Gruden. What Gruden was saying on that cut that we played, or in that cut, I'm not so sure that he would actually subscribe to that when the bullets are flying and people are saying he should be fired because he hasn't won.
BT Sal on the fan. Rock is calling from Long Island. What's up, Rock?
Hey, guys, what's happening? Listen, the Lane Kiffin thing, I think, to be honest with you, I think Ole Miss does what they did with Indiana, sign Cognetti so he don't go to Penn State. And Lane Kiffin, I believe, Ole Miss is going to open up their checkbook for him to keep him, the whole bit. Mm-hmm. We talk sports who agree to disagree. If I had to happen to like as a coordinator, the whole bit, he didn't do a half-bad job. But the thing that I think we all agree on is the Giants need to do their serious homework here, because we haven't had a decent leader here since Tommy Boy. And that's just it. I mean, we just haven't had a decent leader. And another thing, we want a guy that's going to put a good step in. Top-tier offensive coordinator, top-tier defensive coordinator. You know, it's just what we need. It's just they just really need to do their homework.
They basically need everything, Rock. That's the bottom line. You're not wrong. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it. I mean, you need a head coach. You need some coordinators who know what they're doing. You need some players. I mean, what don't they need?
Yeah,
you need everything.
I mean, that's obvious. It's a matter of then who's going to be making these decisions, who's hiring the next head coach, what's going to happen with the general manager. I thought that we were going to wait and see, and then once the press release came out, I thought it was definitive the change is going to be back. Then the reports today saying maybe not so sure. So we still don't know. We know that there's going to be a new head coach. We don't know what's going to happen with the general manager, so we could talk about guys that we would choose as a head coach. For me, I would go with experience. I would try to limit the risks when hiring the next head coach. I think there are some appealing younger names out there. This is a spot where you bring up Kingsbury. I liked him for the Jets potentially, a guy who had experience before. Offensive mind, that to me would have been a better fit. I don't look at this situation with the Giants as a Kingsbury fit. I don't know why I would separate the two. I just, where they're at now, BT, I would not. I personally wouldn't go with Kingsbury here.
I like him a little. I don't love him. I don't even like him enough to really put him centrally on the list here. Yeah, the problem, though, too, is like we talk about these coaches, and it's very easy to talk about coaches because they are front and center. Like, we know all the names, we know the coordinators, we know the coaching records, we know, what style of play they, if they're on the offensive side of the ball or defensive. It's very hard to talk about general managers because it's just much more nebulous. It's less clear. So maybe we're focusing on the wrong thing because there are at least a few accomplished head coaches out there that have at least done the job pretty well that are available. What proven, and I'm asking, I honestly don't know, what proven GM is out there that's done the job? I mean, you need experienced general manager as well.
Yeah, I know, but we've been down this road before, and they have failed to hire the guys. We keep talking about Thomas Dimitroff, who I think Hoff was telling me this morning he's back in the Saints organization. Remember we had Dimitroff in here around the draft?
He was all in. He wanted one. He thought he was talking to the Jets.
Yes, right. He got interviewed for the Jets.
Very serious.
A guy like that who came from the successful Patriots dynasty.
Definitely.
And then was successful building his own teams up with the Atlanta Falcons a few times over. That would be a guy. But again, he's a known guy. We might know some of the, I don't want to say retreads because that's disrespectful, but the guys who have done it before, those names are out there.
Yep.
It doesn't mean that those guys are home run hires. I don't care really who it is because you're going to end up hiring somebody. If it's not a retread guy, it's going to be somebody from a successful organization, the same way that you thought you were doing with Joe Schoen and Brian Daboll from Buffalo.
Yeah, I guess when you laid out like that, I got you. I guess what I'm saying, though, is, if everybody, well, not everybody, because some people are willing to do it, but if there's a reluctance, and I certainly stand here, unless it was Lane, although Lane did coach for the Raiders, like there's a reluctance to give the job as a head coach to somebody who hasn't done it. What I'm saying is I think there should be equal amount of fear and reluctance to give somebody the GM job who hasn't done it. Like, if I'm going to try to mitigate risk with the head coach, I got to do it with the GM.
Right.
They need so much.
But he would have to have done it successfully. If Joe Schoen,
I don't want to take some. Yeah, I don't want to take some scrub who was whacked after 2 years who failed and say, well, just because he did it, he's a home run hire. But hopefully, there's a balance somewhere in between.
But it doesn't make any sense to me. The prime example, somebody that I'm familiar with from all of his work in Atlanta, was Dimitroff. I don't know how he couldn't get another job. I would think that if there's ever going to be a general manager that would get another opportunity, it would be a guy like him, who, yes, he got fired, but he had incredible success.
He
with
did,
that
and he's not
team.
old.
He's not. So how come he couldn't get another opportunity?
I don't know.
To build one of these crappy franchises back up. And if he can't, then what would be the other? Like you said, we don't even know the other retread names
Joe
that are
Douglas?
out there.
You know, give Joe a call?
That's what I'm saying.
Talk to Joe?
Would you do that? Come on.
I mean, I might talk to Joe. I mean, think about it if Joe Douglas had a quarterback.
Yeah, well,
things be a little different for Joe.
Well, but
you got the quarterback.
But whose fault is that? He had Sam
I
Darnold and
understand
Zach
that.
Wilson. He chose poorly.
Understood, but he also did other things that were really smart. Now, AVT kept getting hurt, but he crushed that. He crushed Garrett. Gardner was very good early, crushed Q, had some really, really good signings there. And the knock, like the Jets couldn't win because they had no quarterback. If they had a quarterback, Joe would still be here.
I know, but he's the one who controlled whether they had a quarterback or not.
Oh,
and that wasn't the reason why I don't think they were coached well. He picked poor coaches. I don't think they were talented as everybody else thinks. Now, I'm not saying I would never give Joe Douglas a look. I certainly wouldn't do that if I'm the Giants. But that's a good example of a guy who was not very successful overall, but there are some appealing elements to what he may bring in a second opportunity to be the guy.
Yeah.
A lot of those guys, though, don't get the second opportunity. You ever think Joe Schoen's going to get another job when the Giants do eventually decide to move on from him?
No, not as a GM. He's going to have to go probably back to the Bills or... No, didn't get it.
Okay,
no.
but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Now, he was one who had some success, and you could say, okay, but he learned under Ernie Accorsi.
Mm-hmm.
He was here. Now, I didn't like Reese. I thought they should have fired him long before that they did, but whatever. Point is, he comes from the Giants organization, had success. He didn't get another opportunity. These guys, for whatever reason, the general manager, it's almost, well, I've seen what you could do, and I want to try to hit somebody else that's better.
Yeah. I just remember, going back to Joe, I was, and eventually I'm like, I gotta stop dying on this mountain here, but I was looking for reasons to keep Joe, and I wasn't alone as a Jets fan, and not because it was like blind faith. I'm like, man, and maybe it was also a low barometer of previous Jet GMs, to be very fair. I mean, at least he presented some really talented players, and the previous guys before him were awful. They didn't even really do that. So maybe I was overly enamored with the good stuff, and maybe I kind of glossed over the bad stuff, and the bad stuff was the quarterback. But I remember, and I wasn't alone, I was trying to find reasons to keep Joe. I thought there was real value there, and you're right. He's the one who whiffed on Zach. Not like I didn't say draft Zach. He drafted him. But all I'm saying is, and I think that because the Jets' defense has gotten worse since a lot of his players have left the building, whether it's DJ Reed, who was a very good free agent signing. I'm not saying I hire Joe. I'd have a conversation with Joe myself.
Mike is calling from Yonkers. What's up, Mike?
Mike,
you there?
Yeah, hello?
Yeah, what's up? You're on the fan. What's up, Mike?
Yeah. So, I have a couple things. So, on the coaching search, everybody watches Hard Knocks and stuff like that. Like, the Giants need a guy that can go in there, and that's just a leader of men. We don't need guys that are wearing capris on the sidelines. Like, we want a guy with slacks, a crew neck sweatshirt. I think Gruden's that type of guy. I think Flores is that type of guy. Bagnolo. I would stay away from these. These
Mike, let me ask you a question, Mike. Mike, okay, so you're into the presentation and like the alpha male, which is fine. But I mean, if Gruden's that guy, why didn't he get it done with the Raiders?
Maybe I think when you guys were just saying, I think a lot has to do with the general manager that you're dealing with,
which was Mike Mayock, who was a draft. He also didn't have guru, if you will.
He didn't have a chance to see it through, getting fired.
I know, but that wasn't really trending big time. It was
who do you want, Mike?
Petering out.
Pick a guy. You have one choice to make your hire for the Giants' next head coach. Who is it?
I think it's Flores. I think you need a guy that can go into a room and, you've heard the saying, like, he's been there, like his thing has been there for the past 5 minutes. Like, I think a lot of that, you're dealing with that. Like, you take these coordinators, they're dealing with, let's say, a smaller room, like a quarterback coach has 3 guys in his room. You want somebody to go in there that could command a room of 90 people.
I agree. That would be I don't want to say prerequisite, and thank you for the call, Mike. That would be high on my list of boxes to check. However, again, this is a unique circumstance. Not to mention that Flores is literally suing the New York Football Giants, suing the NFL, but suing the team that we want to maybe hire him to be the head coach. It's also New York. It's just, I like Flores, and I would give him a chance because I think he is a leader of men. I like what he did with the Dolphins. As a matter of fact, the issue to me with the Dolphins was the owner, the GM, the quarterback, not Flores. So I believe in Brian Flores. I just don't know if this is the right spot. I wanted the Jets to maybe take a look at him.
Mm-hmm.
is the Giants the right spot under the current circumstances with all that's going on there? I think they could do worse. If they hired him, I'd be excited about it. I just still think the element of the unknown, it might be too big of risk for a team that has failed how many times over in the last decade plus. That's my biggest issue with Flores.
Would you talk to Saleh? He fixed the defense in a heartbeat.
There is no chance I would talk to Robert Saleh. You want to bring Douglas Saleh into the Giants?
Joe Douglas and Robert. What am I saying now that I think of it? Because I said, that's funny.
You want the Douglas Saleh combo.
I presented them in two totally different parts, but at the end of the day, I'm saying, why don't you talk to Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh? See how that goes. Listen, I think that the Giants are going to have an abundance of options. I don't know that anything's going to be great. Whether it's the McCarthy, whether it's Flores, and that's a different level of baggage. Gruden's got baggage, but I also think that there's an avenue to be bold here, and that is approaching a team this off because you have the quarterback and you don't need to burn a first-round pick on a quarterback. You can make a trade. And I know Lamar's back, and the Ravens very well, they're going to beat the Jets in a couple of weeks, and they might keep winning. They might go back to the play. Matter of fact, at this point, I actually would bet that they would be a playoff team. But if that goes sideways, maybe it's over for John. Maybe you try to trade with them.
The first thing I would do is call the Steelers, call the Ravens, any of those
Niners
head coaches. I'd call the Niners. I'd call the Broncos.
Packers.
It's not realistic. All of them.
Packers too. You don't like LaFleur?
I don't love LaFleur. But yes, now those are probably not realistic, any of them. But yes, those type of guys I'd be looking to poach if I could, if I'm the Giants.
Here's one thing I got to hear before I move on. No.
Yeah.
I got to hear no.
Hey, the Knicks did it with everybody.
That's true. I mean, hey, listen, can I speak to so-and-so with the Ravens? Hey, this is Mr. Mara. Would you like to trade for, can we trade for Harbaugh? No. Click. Okay. I got my answer. Now I move on to the other stuff.
BT and Sal on the Fan Warrior calls when we come back, 888-808-1019.
It's the Nets and Raptors, 7:30 tonight. The home of Brooklyn Nets basketball is The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
I'm Denton Day from the BetMGM Network here to help you beat the books. I'm taking the Raptors to lay 10.5 against the Brooklyn Nets. The play here is pretty simple. Brooklyn is not very good at basketball, and to be fair, they're not trying to be very good at basketball. They're 1-9 on the season, one of the worst teams in the NBA. I think Toronto has a get-right game after losing their most recent matchup. I think they lay that 10.5 and they do it with ease. Bet smarter, beat the books. Download the BetMGM app today. Please gamble responsibly.
Now that I'm a dad, I can't stop thinking about what would happen to my kids if something happened to me, like losing the house or not affording college.
Yeah, that used to keep me up at night too. It's why I finally got life insurance from Ethos. It's 100% online. No medical exams, just a few health questions. I got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day.
I never realized it was that simple. Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Rates may vary. Bill monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
Hi, I'm Nick. And I'm Adam. We started Legacy Box so that family memories would be safe and could always be enjoyed together.
And starting now, we're offering listeners early access to our best deal of the year during our $9 tape sale.
1 million families and counting have trusted Legacy Box to convert their aging media because Legacy Box is safe, simple, and affordable.
From fading over time to risks like fire and water damage, your videotapes, film reels, and photos aren't protected unless they're on a digital format.
With the holidays approaching, don't wait. Simply fill your Legacy Box. We'll take care of the rest.
It's the most meaningful thing you can do this holiday season and the perfect time during our best sale of the year.
Visit legacybox.com/value to get early access to our Black Friday sale and digitize your memories for only $9 a tape. Visit legacybox.com/value. Legacybox.com/value.
Every now and then I rinse it out, and I need dummy rinse tonight. And I need it more. My kick myself bad and the smell never leaves. I don't know what to do. I'm always in the dark. The sweat and dead short smells like a dog park. And Downy rinse it tonight.
Downy Rinse fights stubborn odors in just one wash. When impossible odors get stuck in.
Rinse it out.
Too many tools, too much stress, and way too many bills. Odoo replaces it all.
One connected platform for every part of your business, so you can work faster, smarter, and for less. Odoo, the only software you'll ever need. Try it free today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Get ready for more BT and Sal on the Fan.
Calling all hoops fans, get off the bench and onto the court for another exciting basketball season with BetMGM, an authorized gaming partner of the NBA. From same-game parlays to live bets, you can call your shot during any play. Rooting for your favorite players? You'll find all sorts of markets for betting on any star's performance on any given night. Don't miss a single highlight or buzzer-beating shot by getting all your picks in with BetMGM. Ready to shoot your shot? Download the app today and make your bets. BetMGM, make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards vary and expire in 7 days. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Experience the magic of the season during the Mercedes-Benz Holiday Love Celebration. Enjoy exclusive holiday offers at Mercedes-Benz of Edison, Mercedes-Benz of Union, and Ray Cattina of Freehold. 3 powerhouse locations, 1 legendary name, Ray Cattina. Discover the power of 3 at benzfam.com.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
So, there's this guy, Paul Rivera, grew up in the Bronx, made some mistakes, but eventually becomes one of those hard-working citizens who keep our city going. But he gets pulmonary fibrosis, and his only hope is a lung transplant. One hospital, Montefiore, Einstein, get him a new lung, and they give him a new life. Right. Everyone in his neighborhood is like,
they give that guy a new lung or a new motor.
The story, Mr. Giamatti. Well, you ought to know, Mr. Rivera, you lived it.
Everyone loves a comeback. Montefiore Einstein, national leader in transplant.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
BT Sal back on the Fan. Get back to the calls here in just a second. The perfect parlay pick segment from week 10. None of us hit the parlays. I went 2-teamer, and I lost on the Bucks-Patriots. I had the Bucks. Actually knocked me out of the knockout pool. I went with Tampa Bay. I just thought they were going to win that game. Tight game. That was a frustrating loss. And then I had the Lions, which was a layup victory. Those 4 o'clock games were blowouts all over the place. Who'd you have, BT?
I think I lost everything. I had the under.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I just saw 0-3 again.
Well, so you already knew the answer.
No,
you just
I
set
didn't.
me up by that. Hey, what'd you do, BT? He was stared at 0-3.
No, I knew you had one bad one. Did you have the Bills?
I had the Bills. Yeah. I had the Bills laying 8.5. They were down 13-zip. They got smoked. I had the Jets and the Browns under. And, of course, you get 2 special teams touching, which I'll take because it led to a Jets win. The third game, I had the Cardinals plus 6.5 against
That was
Seattle.
a bad one I was thinking.
And they got crushed.
Yeah, that was a bad one. I honestly did not realize you were 0-3. Hoff was 0-4.
Good.
And I was 1 for 1.
Doesn't make a difference. I'm still like 100 points ahead of you.
No, it does make a difference. We gave out 8 picks. Only one of them hit. I mean, that's bad as a show. Come on, we got to pick it up a little bit.
Any blood though with the actual picks, no spreads.
You gained 10 points.
Here we go. This is what matters
because you had the Bears and
the Jets. There you go.
I had the opposite, so I didn't get anything.
Ooh,
and what'd you have, Hoff? You had the
I had the Bears and the Browns.
So you hit the Bears. So Hoff is at 160. I'm at 90. You are at 50.
So I went from 40 to 50. All right.
I made the decision on Sunday after watching the first game lose that I had. I'm going minimum 3-teamers the rest of the way, and maybe even just 4-teamers the rest of the way.
Start to air it out a little bit, a little deeper in the playbook.
Yeah, because why not? All you have to do is hit one. I've been pretty good with the picks overall. Hoff is 17-21. I'm 16-12, and you are 10
You're 16-12.
Yeah, and
nice.
you're 10-17. I'm actually even better in college football, and you have nothing to show for it. I can't score. I make the picks. I can't win.
Red Zone Sal. He gets tripped up inside the 5.
Yeah, exactly.
He gets you there, but
it's
he'll
a story
score.
of your life. You just can't score.
Because I keep doing the parlays. I'm a sucker for the parlays. Anyway, point is, I think I'm going through. I'm not wasting time with the 2-teamers anymore.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to do me any good.
Bold,
if I can't hit those.
We got to at least take him down. We can't let him win.
It's not happening, guys.
Again?
It's backdoor, 4-team, Hail Mary, get lucky.
It's year 3. Year 3, he won year 1. He can't win again. No way.
Listen, there's no backdoor. I'm just killing it as always. I have a strategy.
Yeah.
You're doing well.
It's a great strategy.
Yeah.
Listen, at the end of the day, us and the fans are going to get together, and we're going to make your lives a living hell. That's all that this means to me, is to make you guys feel unbelievably uncomfortable for a full day.
I didn't dress up last year. I don't plan on dressing up again. All right, BT and Sal, let's get back to the phones here. Oh, you'll like this one.
I kind of enjoy it, by the way.
Dress it up?
I've come to enjoy it. It's like a tradition.
Who are you the Gold Goldust, right?
Yeah.
That was Doink. Frank in Parsippany. This is Frank from Rails, of course. Maybe wanted to clear his name.
Yeah,
he promised us tickets to the Ranger game, and then he backed out. The Rangers go out there, have their first home victory. They score, 6 goals? Frank from Rails, how are you, Frank?
Wow, Sal, I got to defend myself on the radio now. My lobster guys here breaking my chops want to know I'm promising tickets and not coming through.
Did he know who you were promising to? That he was going to get ripped on the radio?
Wait till the scallop guy
every
comes.
day.
Yeah, defend yourself. He crushed you there, Frank.
I'm trying to be a good guy, do the right thing here. I'm like, who would appreciate these tickets? Well, so here's the best. So the guy calls me back, and he says, I can give you tickets for Sunday. So I was going to tell Hoff I'll take him. He picks up the phone and says, Frank, thanks for those tickets. So now you're both out.
Screw him.
All right, well,
I think our Christmas dinner is going to be me and you. Huff and Sal are going to be sitting in the Saquon Barkley section.
Yeah, enjoy that, you and BT.
Go,
no,
man.
we do appreciate the offer, and really it was fine. But I'd be lying to you if I said I wasn't annoyed with the result. Yeah.
You can have Sunday night's game if you want them. I think they're playing the Red Wings.
We appreciate that.
I don't have them yet, so I don't want to get beat up again next Monday.
Before we let you go, you're obviously a huge Giants fan. What are you thinking of the Daboll and then Shane stuff as well?
Who do you want to coach?
Well, I mean, who do I?
That's what I want.
Who do I want? I don't know. I just want to make sure they talk to everybody. Don't leave a stone unturned.
Gonna have to narrow that focus a little bit.
I like McCarthy because of stability.
Couple
I like
weeks, Frank. You were on with us a couple weeks
ago. I was defending Daboll.
Yeah, you wanted Daboll. You wanted Daboll and Dart.
Yeah, but losing those 2 games, I said he had the proving point with that Niners game, and they just blew it. And then last week, it's you can't keep the guy around. But I do like him, and even BT said last year, Daboll 2.0 is going to be better than Daboll 1, and I think he's going to go somewhere and we'll be successful.
Yep.
Yeah, and I was just actually looking at it. And thank you for the call, Frank, and thank you for the offer. We appreciate it. Trying to clear your name. Again, Hoff will talk to you. Maybe take those tickets. Yeah, we do have to get in there. Maybe Daboll's next job could be going back to Penn State. I saw the Post has posted exclusive photo. They go exclusive photos. Daboll was spotted. Yeah, outside of his house.
Yeah, he's living.
Spotted. You went to stalk him outside in his house.
I hate that. Remember they did that to Sal at the grocery store when he got fired? How about you let people have some dignity?
My
Do you do that?
My favorite was Joe Judge, because I think he had like a delivery of like a ton of
pizza.
beer.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yes.
That'd be me, man.
I remember that, too.
Let me with the serve size of pizza. So they see, they show Daboll, this is according to the post here on their Instagram page, they show Daboll walking out of what appears to be his house.
Okay.
In a hoodie, snowing out in Jersey, in a Penn State Nittany Lions hoodie. And that made me think, well, Penn State is open.
Let's see.
Maybe go back to college for Penn State?
Let's see. So he has.
I think Daboll could be a good coach.
I think he'd be a very good coach in college. And I think eventually he could be a good coach in the NFL. So here's some of his, I'll skip over some of the smaller schools. He was at Michigan State for a couple of years in the late 90s. Obviously, Patriots, the Jets for a minute, the Browns, Dolphins, Chiefs, Alabama, 2017. So really not much of a college background. William and Mary for a year. That's how he got going. So William and Mary, Michigan State.
Wait, he wasn't at Penn State?
No, I don't see anything at Penn State here. No, I don't see anything. I just see William and Mary.
Are you sure about that?
I'm double checking.
You know what?
Michigan State.
Because I saw, actually, this is the second thing. I saw on somebody, a feed, they came up in my feed. There was a female, I don't know who she is, otherwise I'd name her. Daboll was taking a selfie with her in the stands, and I'm pretty sure he was wearing a Penn State hoodie.
Well, maybe he's a fan.
I was thinking it was at Penn State.
I'm wearing a St. John sweatshirt. I played for St. John. I didn't coach St. John's.
Yeah, fair enough. Whatever.
You know.
Anyway, so I saw that and I was like, oh, maybe he coached there or whatever.
I think he'd be great in college. But I listen, I think he's also going to be good in the NFL. He was. I think he was screwed by Shane in bad circumstances.
Think about this as well. One more on Daboll. What he was year one as a coach. I forget who I was talking. Who the hell was I talking about this? Maybe somebody at SNY. What he was year one as a coach. Aggressive, fiery. It started to get chipped away. Year 2, year 3, to a point where we saw him in his last game kicking a freaking field goal from the half-yard line. That's not the Brian Daboll that we saw in year one.
Okay.
And that's circumstance of having probably the higher-ups, hey, we don't like this. Hey, temper your enthusiasm. Hey, you got to tone it down. You're hot-headed. And then he starts to now
overthink things
and be less secure in who he is,
which is a natural human reaction to that.
But also the worst thing that you could possibly do.
Which is why, Aaron Glenn, you want to keep berating people over the quarterback questions. Do you, be you, don't change.
1,000% you got to be yourself. Sean is on Long Island. What's up, Sean?
Hey, guys. How are you?
Good.
All right. So, not much. Diehard Bills fan here. We're kind of going through it a little bit at 6-3, and I think our feeling is that the things have run its course between Bean and McDermott. And I'm wondering if you take a look at things. You got a guy that's 55 games over 500. He'd be the sixth fastest coach to reach 100 wins. And he's a good culture builder and a leader of men. Would you trade your first-round pick in 2027 or even 2026, for that matter, to the Bills for McDermott?
That's a really good question. I hadn't thought about that. I'd be tempted to. At the end of the day, and when I had to make the decision, I would probably stop short of making that trade. I would try to shoot a layer higher than McDermott. I like McDermott. Don't love him, but I like him.
Yeah, I can't go down that road, especially because it's from Buffalo again. And thank you for the call, Sean. Again, I don't know, man. This is such a tough call. They could do a lot worse than McDermott, obviously. But look at what's gone on in Buffalo with incredible circumstance. He's had Josh Allen, and they still can't get over the hump.
Yeah,
and
but think about the way they lost to the Chiefs in that game. Like, they're in the Super Bowl. I mean, they've been really good.
Okay, but do you think he's going to build the Giants up to the point where...
to a perennial wild card or 10 or 11 team? That I would say yes to.
Okay, but to the point where you're going to win a Super Bowl?
No, but that goes to something I said earlier, where at least you can now hand the baton to somebody in a couple of years when you get out of this hellhole.
I know. The more I think about this, and I really do need to give it some thought, because I could be sold on Gruden. I could be sold on Belichick. I don't want McCarthy. I could probably be sold on McDermott. I think at my heart, I really want Flores. I understand why that's not probably likely here. But man, they got to get this one right. And that's why I'm saying you got to limit the risk. And even with McDermott, it's like, okay, he was nice. I don't look at McDermott the way that I looked at Andy Reid when he left the Eagles. Put it that way.
I agree with that. I agree. But why?
I look at him as the problem in Buffalo. Whereas I didn't look at Reid as the problem with the Eagles. I looked at it, he just didn't have enough. He maximized, he squeezed every ounce out of what he could out of McNabb and that roster with the Eagles.
Yeah.
And then when he finally got a quarterback that could take him to a whole nother level, he has gotten to a whole nother level with Mahomes. I look at McDermott, he will never be in a better position than he's been with the Bills these last several years.
Well, I mean, the defense could be a whole hell of a lot better. Their defense suddenly is not very good.
And he's a defensive guy,
and he's 5 years as a coordinator for the Carolina Panthers. I think that was 2011 through 2016. McDermott is a very good coach. I mean, to me, this is interesting. I feel like McDermott here is being sold short, and there's a heightened and an unfair elevation of Gruden.
Yeah,
think about this. He's got the one Super Bowl, and what he's interesting when he talks. Like, we like the way he sounds.
No, he won a Super Bowl. He was a successful head coach. He arguably could have had two if not for the stupid tuck rule.
Also had a lot of down years, though, too. McDermott doesn't have down years. They're always in a mix.
Not yet. He didn't. Let's see when he goes to his second franchise. Let's not forget, Gruden built up the Raiders. Like, we can't just dismiss. It's not just what he did with the Bucs, taking a team led by Tony Dungy that Dungy couldn't get over the top. Gruden took it over the top and won. And then, okay, his second stint with Oakland, or wherever the hell they were at that point.
Yeah, both.
Okay.
Yep.
You can't just say that. What about the first stint? There was a reason why Gruden got hired to be the difference maker in Tampa, which he was.
I know.
And again, I
like Gruden.
I'm not 100% sold on Gruden either.
I'm definitely not. I'll talk to him. I mean, there's a 4-win season, another 4-win season, 8-8s, a lot of 7-9s. Like, to me, listen, I think Gruden gets... I don't think it's really an accurate representation of who he's truly been as a coach. I know he's good.
Because
I'm not
he just
pushing back on that. Obviously, he's good.
Well, and he was very good.
And he has the one championship. And when you win a championship, you're going to be placed at a different level. And to that, I understand. But I think because his personality, and he's been on TV, and he's quirky, and he's no nonsense, and he's old school, and he's this, and he's that, I think people think he's a little bit better than he is, whereas with McDermott, who doesn't really say a peep in terms of, the media's just very buttoned up. Right. He's very, stone-faced on the sidelines. Maybe a lack of personality hurts McDermott, and it helps Gruden.
But that is a part of it. The way that Gruden talked to Jackson Dart, I like that. I want my head coach talking to players like that. I don't think that a lot of the new age guys do that anymore. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm right, but I like that. I know what I'm getting with Gruden. I know what I'm getting with Bill Belichick. I don't know if it works to the highest of levels anymore because the recent resume will tell you it has not. For both.
Yes, and the recent resume, I mean, if I put it this, forget about the name. The Giants, the introductory press conference, welcome to MetLife, they introduce so-and-so, whatever the name's going to be. Because obviously I'm talking about Gruden, but whomever that person is, this is what he did in his last 8 or 9 years. 4-12, 9-7, 9-7, 4-12, 7-9, 8-8, 3-2. Now, is that any reason to get overly pumped up? That's a long stretch of football where the game's changed a lot, too, Sal.
But show me the Giants coach who's done that.
Yeah, but that's why the Giants are in the tank, and the Giants are awful.
Yeah, okay, but also McDermott has his... Again, do you think that he's the reason for their success or the reason why they haven't had the ultimate success?
I think he's a tick below being a Super Bowl coach, clearly. I mean, but I also don't think he's that next level coach. But I also believe he's got a lot more to do with their regeneration as a franchise than he gets credit for.
I would argue
it's not just Josh Allen. God wins a lot of games.
I would argue that McDermott's coaching style in big games has prevented them from getting over the hump. Now, that's the next layer, maybe the ultimate layer of a head coach, and you're trying to get to that point. So you're saying, well, they got to, before they can walk, they got to crawl.
You got to
whatever.
crawl a little bit here.
So the Giants need to start crawling into the postseason.
Yeah.
So somebody could build it up. But I could find guys that could do that. I don't know if you could do worse than McDermott. I would not hire him.
And by the way, I don't know that I'd give a first-round pick. I'm just, having the conversation. Yep. The question was posed to me, would I give up a first-round pick? And I said probably not, but I was just trying to have a full conversation about McDermott. Here's the one thing. If I'm going to go with a defensive coach, which I really don't want to do as a Giants, if it's going to be a defensive guy, it's got to be somebody who's done it. McDermott's a defensive guy. He's won a lot of games. He could fix this defense up. Perfect? No. Pretty good? Yeah, I would say it would be pretty good.
More of your calls on the other side. We'll finish up on the phones. BT and Sal on the Fan.
It's Evan and Tiki. Afternoons on the Fan, 101.9 FM.
A lot of it is on the coaches, obviously, but ultimately you are judged by the bottom line, and the bottom line for Dave's was not good enough.
Listen to Evan and Tiki on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Andrew Perloff with an Odyssey Sports Minute. The Giants are moving on from Coach Brian Daboll. The record speaks for itself, but perhaps a more important question that Daboll has to answer for is how he handled Jackson Dart. The rookie quarterback had been checked for a concussion 4 times, and still, Daboll was calling design runs. Long-term, it's the franchise's job to protect the young quarterback. That wasn't happening. Now they get a chance to start over at head coach. I'm Andrew Perloff.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/play.
For more than 75 years, University of Maryland Global Campus has given you the opportunity to build your next success. Choose from more than 135 degree and certificate programs in career-relevant fields like business, healthcare, data analytics, cybersecurity, and more. Plus, we offer 100% online and hybrid courses, personalized advising, and lifetime career services. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
I'm New Jersey Attorney General Matt Platkin. Every year, too many lives are lost in alcohol or drug-related crashes. These are preventable tragedies, and it's time to take a stand. Let's make New Jersey's roads safer for everyone. We are all counting on you.
Stars rise, legends are made, and one player rules them all. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, brings you King of the Court every Tuesday. Here's the deal. DraftKings puts up $1 million in bonus bets each week. Opt in, apply your token, and place a $5 pregame bet on the NBA star you think will dominate each Tuesday. If they finish the night leading the league in points, rebounds, and assists, they're crowned King of the Court, and you win your share. Download DraftKings Sportsbook and use code WFAN for your shot at a share of $1 million in bonus bets with code WFAN. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. 21 and over. New York only. Eligibility restrictions apply. One token per customer that expires at the start of the final NBA game when offered. Winning shared as $1 million in non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
Football season is here, and just like winning teams, your engagement should be all about the best. So if you're ready to pop the big question this season, why not visit the experts at London Jewelers? With top-notch professionals and cutting-edge technology, London Jewelers can help you select or even design the absolute perfect ring. So whether you're starting over or starting new, let the professionals at London Jewelers be a part of your journey. Visit any one of their convenient 6 locations across New York and New Jersey. London Jewelers, serving you and your family since 1926.
Talk New York sports on The Fan.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Tune into the BT Sal Show weekdays from 10 to 2 on The Fan. Presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac is the official luxury vehicle of the New York Giants.
Beware the holiday buffering.
Who are you?
The ghost of internet past here to slow down right when your guests arrive.
Not this year. We got Verizon's 100% fiber optic home internet. Scored a limited time offer for $20 a month and locked in the price for 3 years.
Fios home internet, that's scary fast.
Now we can all stream, video chat, and game at the same time. So bye.
Call 1-833-VERIZON to switch to Fios home internet today. Fios 300 megabits per second plan at $20 a month with autopay. Any Verizon mobile phone plan and bonus discount. Price guarantee applies to base monthly rate only for my home customers. Terms apply.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
Dunkin's $6 meal deal is here for the holidays. Enjoy a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, 6-piece hash browns, and a medium hot or iced coffee, all for $6. It's got everything you need to keep your holiday season running. Get it now in Dunkin' stores or order ahead directly on the Dunkin' app. After all, the holidays run on Dunkin'. No substitutions. Participation times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
Call of the Day with Brendan Tierney and Sal Licata on The Fan.
Today's Call of the Day brought to you by Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's heating experts. Matt is calling from South Florida. What's up, Matt?
I don't know if anybody's brought this up yet, but let's just assume Shane is in charge
of looking for a head coach. His contract is up after next season. So you're looking at extending him now. So nobody compounds problems better than the Giants. It makes no sense. Why would they just not get rid of him? This is just a bad look for the organization again.
Yep.
I love the way you worded that. They compound the problem. And it's very simple. Matt, you could think, or they could think, that Joe Schoen's been okay and has some semblance of talent. Why wouldn't you just clean house and start fresh? It doesn't make any sense. The next guy...
They're inept. There's no other answer. They think they're smart people. They have no awareness. Just because you're rich doesn't mean you're a football guy. They own the team. They're not football guys. It's pretty clear. They are constantly choosing the wrong people, getting rid of the head coach, keeping the GM, hiring somebody, then firing that. I mean, they're gonna waste Jackson Dart's rookie contract, and they're going to ruin his career, and then he'll go to another team and he'll win a Super Bowl.
Now, it was a call of the day. Now, obviously, since then, we've learned the report of Ian O'Connor saying that it's not a given necessarily that Joe Schoen is going to be back, where, the Giants right now with Mr. Mara's health, in a spot where maybe they couldn't fire the GM and go through this search and the grueling process. So we'll sit back and wait and see, but I would treat it as if we still don't know, although the press release yesterday read like he was definitively going to come back and lead the search. The reports today make it sound like maybe not so fast, that it could still be. His fate is yet to be determined, so I think that's how we should operate.
As it should be, because he hasn't done anything or hasn't done enough to, oh, yeah, you're coming back. You've done a great job. If I was running the Giants, there's no way I would do that. And the point, too, about what the caller said about ruining Dart's career, I think that's a little bit much, but I do think the other point about maybe wasting his first contract, that is on point. Because you think about the advantageous, side of drafting a young quarterback, him playing right away, you being a good team, and you really not paying him a lot. That's when you could build out the rest of the roster. These other teams, once that young quarterback, whomever it is, once they get to the second contract, well, now you maybe got to skimp here on the old line, or maybe that nickel corner that you want to keep around has to go, or that third wide receiver that you can't afford, or that second safety that you really like. And then you kind of start losing some talent. So I do agree with that. You get a couple of year window where Jackson's not making money. You got to crush it.
There were the post tweeted out, or this is on Instagram actually, a bunch of different names. We've gone over some of them here. I'm going to throw out a couple that maybe we didn't. So Lane Kiffin, we did.
Yep.
Gruden, obviously, we've done that. Kevin Stefanski, a call brought up before.
Yeah, I'm not interested in that.
I'm
not interested. I think he's better than you do, but I'm not interested in Kevin Stefanski.
I never said he's good or he isn't, so you don't know how good I think of him. What I know is Cleveland sucks, and the end of the Jets game, and now their defense is very good.
He did some good things there early. His first year, won 11 games.
The end of the
Tough place to win.
The end of the Jets game, that might have been the worst coached defense I've ever seen in my life, trying to get the ball back from the Jets, who can't move the ball. The penalties were inexcusable. That is a direct reflection of the head coach.
Fair enough. Here's another guy, though, who, it's tough to evaluate him without a quarterback. I mean, it's been bouncing around with that. Again, I thought he was supposed to be the quarterback guru.
How many guys are going to get a chance?
You always say that doesn't exist.
Yeah, well, it doesn't. That's my point. So why would I hire him? Because of what he did with the defense, not supposed to be a defensive guy. Zach Taylor.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be gone. I do. Zach would be a little interesting to me because his problem is defense, and the Giants have some good defensive players.
Yeah, I know.
Enough to have a conversation.
It doesn't do anything for me.
From the North, unless it's Mike Tomlin, right?
I mean,
or Harbaugh.
Look at the talent the Bengals have had. This guy can't figure it out.
Yeah.
Mike Tomlin. Now,
100%.
But is he available? Every year, everybody's like, Tomlin. And every year, he just is retained by the Steelers.
Doesn't it feel like this is going to be it, though? I mean, they are starting to swoon a little bit. Ravens starting to wake up. If they don't make the playoffs, that probably is it for him.
Jeff Hafley, that's the guy that
came up
Baldy
before.
brought up. Packers defensive coordinator.
Yep.
Kingsbury, we brought him up before.
I don't love it. Don't hate it. Don't love it.
Kafka, and then another one, Lou Anarumo.
Okay.
Colts. He's right now the Colts defensive coordinator. Was with the Bengals, I think, all those years.
Yeah.
Never got a head coaching opportunity.
It's a lot of names. I mean, you're going to hear a lot more, too. There's probably 20 names we could throw out there. And don't forget about Belichick, as dumb as it might sound, or as, unrealistic as it might sound. And, there's going to be maybe some other college coaches or trade for this guy. It's going to be a long list. I think the job's attractive now.
Yeah, I'm still not where you are with the job being attractive, because I need to see all the. How do I know it's attractive? If put yourself in the head coach's spot. Hey, Sal, we want to interview you. Hey, BT, we want to interview you for the job to be the Giants head coach. Okay, I'm going in there right now. I don't know who the general manager is. I don't know the status of the health of those are all things, unfortunately, that are in play here. I need to see that. Obviously, there's no head coach. You're looking to get that job. So the coordinator is going to be, you would assume you get to bring in. That's a good thing. The quarterback being in place, those are good things. The GM and the hierarchy, the structure, that's an unknown right now.
It is, but I could always get assurances. Otherwise, I'm just not taking the job. Like, hey, listen, I've got, this say or on the roster. And listen, the Giants might not acquiesce to that, but that's the first thing. All right, so how's the stability? Well, it's not very good. The next checkpoint is how's the quarterback. And if you like Dart the way I do, you would love the Giants' potential opening.
Yeah.
Or not potential, but potentially to take the job.
All right. I mean, it's been Giants here the first 2 days of the week. Tomorrow we got some special guests lined up, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Then, of course, we get the Jets to talk about Thursday.
Knicks tonight.
Let's go.